Good afternoon. Wait for that siren to go. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 16 of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game. Today we've got a big game coming up here at Gardens Oval on beautiful Larrakia country between the Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers. My name's Liz Cruz. Joining me at the commentary table today, we're calling from outside, is Will Zwar. Welcome, Will. This is Will. Now I've renamed you. Will.
How are you, Liz?
I'm good. It's quite warm now this afternoon. There was a little bit of cloud and rain around this morning, but the sun has come out and it's a pretty warm day here at Gardens.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be. It looks like it might be one of those games of endurance just with the heat and the weather here today. But don't write this one off as a dead rubber, even though it is 8th or 9th versus 8th. Sorry. Tiwi would obviously be pretty keen to get a win in what's been a pretty lacklustre, not just this year, but couple of seasons. They've only got the one win this year over on the Islands, yet to win here in Darwin. Wanderers, meanwhile, just had a quick look at the table, and they're only 10 points behind Darwin Buffalo. So if they win all three of their remaining games and the Buffs lose all of theirs, they could still be in with a finals chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but they still have plenty to play for today.
Absolutely. The most recent matchup was in round 8 at Tracy Village, where Wanderers defeated Tiwi by 39 points. Both teams got some talent in there today, so whatever the result, it's going to be a great spectacle of top-end footy.
Yeah, absolutely. And just noting with the Wanderers, I saw them last week. They've got Stevie Motlop back into the lineup. Big Eddie Simpson in the ruck. He's been a mainstay for them, for the last few seasons in that ruck role and centre-half forward. They've also got Brady Newman, who's been probably their best player all year. Meanwhile, for Tiwi, they've got 4 players up from Banks today. One of them is Tom Holding in the ruck. They've also got Anthony Giannini in the middle, and it looks like Lockie Fairley and Jonathan Lanyon in the back line. Eddie Simpson gets the first hit out down of the game, and Boys kicks it forward. Good strong mark.
Great mark
there early by Dre Thompson.
Speaking of excitement machines, he's got the ability to turn a game on, but chopped off in their Tiwi defence there very well.
Gives it off to Darley. Now they work it across through Hooker. We know he's got a massive boot on him, and it's a pretty good kick as well. Turn it over.
Brady Newman, who I'm expecting to rack up a number of possessions today. A very classy player. Wanderers looking to get it inside 50.
Boys again. He was missing last week. That's a good kick. Motlop almost got away with a hand in the back there. No, he hasn't. He's given away a free kick. Yeah,
it was a bit of a slow call by the umpire, but the hands were definitely there. So Tiwi will look to short kick this out of their defence.
Darley finds Giannini. That's a great pass. Giannini off to Braden Rioli. He goes out wide now to Jason Burke. Played his debut game last week for the Bombers and kicked a pretty handy goal. That's nimble for a big fella, but I think he's just taken it over the boundary line. Wasn't quick enough.
Coaches today, Brenton Toy for the Tiwi Bombers, Aaron Motlop for the Wanderers, and I think there's 3 Motlops out there playing as well today, Stephen, JJ and Matthew. So the Wanderers are always well represented by the Motlop family.
And 2 Riolis as well. We've got Braden, who we just saw in that last play, and Shannon, I think for his 3rd game of the year for Tiwi possibly. Here's Giannini now. Holding, he picks it up at ground level, gets back to Stan Tipalura. He works it forward now. It's kicked in hope. There's Shannon Rioli. Couldn't take the mark. He's picking it up as Munkara. Gets a handball over the top. Now to Giannini again. He's been very lively early. Kicks inside 50. Burke couldn't take the mark. Intercepted on that back line. Wanderers will repel the attack.
Yeah, really well read there by the Wanderers' defence. And the big fella, Eddie Simpson, bringing it out of defence.
Now with Arbon, one of their better players last week, and a pretty heavy loss to Waratah, who, despite not sitting on top of the ladder, you'd say Waratah are the best team in the comp at the moment. That's not a great kick there. Motlop just couldn't work his body around. Good tackle there from Fijo. Trying to wrap it in. He gets a handball out to Stevie Motlop now. Gets a handball off to Totham. Totham, very tight, kicks it onto the run there of Matthew Motlop, and he'll go into an open goal, you think. Kicks the first of today. Great goal, and the Wanderers are off to a fast start. 2.5 minutes in, they kick the first goal.
Yeah, well, Matthew Motlop, the younger brother of coach Aaron Motlop, and of course their dad Mark, an absolute legend of Territory and South Australian football. And Wanderers will be pleased with that start, Will. The Tiwi defence weren't letting them get any of the ball early, so to finish with a goal inside the first 3 minutes is a good start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Tiwi have sort of come to play so far. We know that probably one of their big issues has just been lasting out games. If they can stay with it and, not necessarily that the Wanderers get the first 3 or 4 goals of the game, Tiwi could be on for an exciting game in that brand of footy that we all love to see here in the top end.
Yeah, and this oval really suits them too. They like playing here. They've got a great crowd here today, both teams, so play will get back underway.
Simpson gets a handball down now with O'Connell, just throws it onto the boot, finds grass in that forward line. Lanyon got a handball out to Cantilla, try to get it back, but good forward pressure there from Wanderers. Lanyon again, now ball, short, sharp one out to Darley, probably just the 15-metre quota. He now goes long, finds Stanley Tipalura.
Good mark, and Cantilla's been exceptional for Tiwi early in defence.
Goes to Darley, now with Hooker again. Hooker tries to run around his opponent, goes a long one, hugs the boundary line, that kick.
Daniel Wheater, the flyer there, but I think he's been paid a free kick, but advantage play on, says the umpire.
Now with Arbon. Arbon over the top to O'Connell. Shepherd there from Thorne, and O'Connell again just launched the inside 50 to Motlop. Motlop, good body positioning, probably just got a bit too much under it and rolls through for a behind. Yeah,
that ball was always going to go over Stevie's head. So another point on the board for Wanderers. 4.5-minute mark of the first quarter, 1-1-7. Tiwi Bombers yet to score.
Tight kick back in, but Darley makes it work. He now goes into that centre square. Can't really find a lot of clean targets, Tiwi. They're just sort of bombing in hope. That one from Lanyon, no exception there. Rioli at the fall of it, but he couldn't take a mark, and it's just fisted forward to Wanderers' defence. Giannini picks it up on the fly. Tackled, gets a handball away. Totham swung around. Newman almost kicks it over his head. A big high one at the fall of this is Nicky. Probably happy with that result, Nicky, because there were 3 Bombers around him.
There were, and some disciplined defence there by Tiwi to punch that over the line. The game being played in good spirit at the moment. I just saw Shannon Rioli pick up an injured Wanderers player, so a lot of respect between the clubs.
Ball goes up. Absolutely monstering there in the ruck was Simpson. He kicked it forward, but only found Michael Dunn. He's been pretty good for them this year. He's made a few appearances up forward.
Yeah, one game I commentated at Pints, I think he kicked 3 goals. He was very impressive as they looked to set that ball inside their 50, and what a great mark there by Harley Bennell, who's just brought so much to the team on and off the field this season for the Tiwi Bombers.
Looks a bit sore there. I just think he's hit the deck pretty hard, but he should be good to go back and take a shot on goal.
Like we said earlier, pretty hot conditions out there now. So, the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, always tough.
Dylan Dos Santos as well, an underrated defender for them. He usually takes the most prolific forward in the opposing side each week. Last week he was on Magro. He still gave away 4 goals, but you didn't feel like Dos Santos was far off the mark, and Magro got on the end of a couple of lucky ones. He's playing on Bennell today, so Bennell with an early shot on goal, and the first goal for Tiwi. They're on the board. Yeah,
that's exactly what Coach Brenton Toy would have wanted, a response to the Wanderers' first goal. So Harley Bennell, as I said, brought so much this season. He's former AFL player. And he's moved up here for the season and just brought so much to the team on and off the field.
Still trying to have a crack at that top level, I believe. I think he's in chats with some VFL clubs and hoping to make that gradual transition back into AFL. Hopefully it's not beyond him because he is such a fantastic player. Yeah, and he played in the NTFL rep side a few weeks ago, so yeah, still got it. So the score now at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, Wanderers 1-1-7 leading the Tiwi Bombers, 1 straight goal. Interesting ruck match up here. Looks like it was one down by Tipua Montemiri. Bates gets a handball off to JJ Motlop. Kicking backwards now is Cabillo to Newman. Newman goes over the top to Motlop.
JJ Motlop walked out for the captain's toss today.
And Newman, he works it forward. On the target. Couldn't hit him cleanly. Hooker, he gets a handball away to Lanyon. Lanyon comes back into Dunn. Dunn kicks it now. He's got 2 there. Very well placed. Ball now with John Tipalura. He kicks it over the top there.
Dion Mankara is all on his own, calling for it, if they can see him in the middle, but they're going to look downfield, look for Bennell again.
Bennell, good jump to it, just couldn't hold it. Wanderers, good defence. They'll make Bates work, but he puts the Jets on, gets some time and space, but just runs over the ball. Now comes back to Burke. Burke gets a handball over the top. There's Munkara. He was tackled as he took the ball, and Totham just throws on the boot, gets it out of there. Marked by O'Connell. Very well placed. He kicks laterally, finds Newman on the far side. He doesn't really have much forward, Newman, so kicks over the top to Clee. Now finds Motlop, and he's got Shane Thorne a bit further afield. Won't quite go there yet. Instead, he goes down and finds Dre Thompson. He goes over the top to Nicky. He's got Motlop if he wants. Instead, he goes for home. What a kick that was from outside 50.
Wow, what a goal.
And the Wanderers kick their second a day and take that 7-point lead back.
Yeah, Caleb Nicky kicked that from outside 50. So if you're watching the replay at home, yeah, sensational kick. He's also a talented rugby player and part of the big Nicky family that we know are very, very talented sports people in Darwin. Elisa played in the women's NTFL rep game a couple of weeks ago and was outstanding in defence. So beautiful kick there. Sees Wanderers go to 2-1-13, leading the Tiwi Bombers one straight goal. We're at about the 9.5-minute mark of the first quarter here at Gardens Oval.
Back in the middle, I think this is the third ruck the Wanderers have had today. It's Jaden Adams. Comes down to Bates. Bates gets boot to ball. Very well placed again. Dre Thompson kicks forward. Motlop's just slipped over, and Dunn will reap the rewards of that. Kicks a high loopy one, almost the hospital kick to Hooker. But it might work out for them. Munkara will run onto a loose ball, keeps it in. Just almost a grubber along the ground in the end. Not his best effort. Now gets worked from Cabillo over the top. I think that was Weitra to Bates, and Bates is in plenty of space. He kicks it out to that far side. Matt Motlop was the target, but Darley's just edged him out. Ed Simpson getting involved as well, using his physicality. Now with Clee. Clee kicks it, and that's, again, very well-placed kick there for Thorne. Thorne a bit too far out, maybe just on his range, but instead he'll look to assist. And awful kick straight down the throat of Brendan Cantilla. Could have used that a lot better.
I reckon Brendan's had about 6 or 7 touches in this first quarter. He's been outstanding in defence as Tiwi Bombers look to bring that out in front of the grandstand here, hitting up teammate there, Thomas Holding.
Holding goes down the line looking for Burke. Burke couldn't take the mark. Follows up with ground level work though. Now through Dre Thompson. Lanyon's just clipped Simpson high as he's gone through. Simpson's hit the deck and got a bit of a Bronx cheer from the crowd there.
It is slippery out there. It does look dry, but we have had a lot of rain in the last week or so as Tiwi Holding again just pressured over the line there by young Bo O'Connell. So a throw in deep in the Wanderers 50.
Holding gets that one down, almost roves it as well. Handball now comes out to Cantilla. Another one, Liz, for him. Now back to Dunn, who's also been busy back there. They've got a handy defensive unit, the Bombers. Now finds Paddy Heenan, goes backwards to Lanyon. They're in a very hot and sticky spot here. Luckily earned himself the free kick. So Lanyon, he'll go back. He's a great user of the pill. Gets a handball out there to Heenan. Heenan works it forward again to Darley. Darley had to be pretty perfect with that one, and he was. He's found Austral. Austral centres it. Adam Tipping-Woody couldn't take the mark. So O'Connell, he takes it to the top of 50. They get a handball through. Umpire calls a free kick for a trip. Will be brought back to O'Connell. Again, just beyond his measure. He'll be kicking from inside the centre square here, but Wanderers could be a chance. So there's a lot of Bombers back there in their forward line.
And the umpires today, Sam Bayman, Jacob Port, Cypress Hart, and Kyan Everson out there in the green. Oh, smothered by the player of the mark, yeah.
Now gets it back out. O'Connell will have another crack. Kicks it to the hot spot. Holding gets a fist in there. Lanyon just running through like a wrecking ball. Gets a handball out now with John Tipalura. And then Thorne will get onto a loose ball again from outside 50. Simpson the target there. Marked by Fairley in that back line. Fairley gives it back now. That's Roy Farmer. Comes out now to Giannini. Giannini gets it off to Darley. Goes further to Adam Tipping-Woody again, but good intercept there from Arbin.
Free kick paid.
I think he just intercepted a bit too much.
Adam Tipping-Woody playing on, finding a Dion Munkara who just steps around Jaden Adams. He's got Braden Rioli all on his own, and he'll put the boots on, and his kick just doesn't quite come off how he wanted it to. But a 2-on-1 there for Tiwi Bombers if they can pick it up.
Just not well thought through there by young Braden Rioli, unfortunately for the Bombers. And Wanderers take a mark well away from home through Adams. Wanderers building. Totham goes out to that far wing. Motlop's there in plenty of space. He's got Cunningham on the mark now. We give a hand off to Clee on the run through. He now goes inside 50, and the big fella bounces off his chest, off Simpson's chest. Now with Fijo. Fijo runs out tight on the boundary, goes a short, sharp one. That's beautifully placed again. He finds Tyson White, who very exciting young prospect. He can find the goals from almost anywhere in the forward line, so you'd back him to go and have a shot here.
Yeah, he's having a breakout season for Wanderers, which is great to see them developing their juniors because they're the future of the club. But he's on a pretty tight angle there over in front of the Express Signs sign, but he's put it out of bounds on the full, I think. It'll be a kick into the Tiwi Bombers. We're just ticking over 14 and a half minutes here at Gardens Oval. And we've seen Mitchell Taylor warming up on the bench there. I don't think he's been on yet. Mitch,
no, I was just thinking the same. I was wondering if perhaps he'd been a late inclusion or something, but no, he's definitely been named, just hasn't been on yet. Yeah,
the captain of the team, and he was captain of the rep side, I think, too, a few weeks ago. Been an absolute stalwart for Wanderers. We see that high ball, Brody Newman underneath it, and takes it uncontested.
Just knows where to find it, doesn't he?
Yeah. He was my son's school footy coach last season, a premiership-winning school footy coach. He was fantastic with the kids.
Now comes from Motlop into that forward line, finds Fijo. Fijo takes the mark. So Wanderers slowly building a few shots on goal here, or a few opportunities, and Motlop, he takes the mark. A bit further out, but on a better angle for them. And obviously a former AFL star with Port Adelaide and Geelong.
Yes. So he's enjoyed moving home, I think, and playing local footy for his family club, although brother Shannon coaches Pints this year and sister Lauren played her 150th game for Pints last weekend. So let's see what he can do with this kick.
Good kick across the face, though, and just to behind.
So another point on the board for Wanderers, 2-3-15, leading the Tiwi Bombers one straight goal. So 5 scoring shots to 1 so far, Will. The Wanderers could have probably had another goal on the board to make it a bit harder for Tiwi, but a few missed shots.
Tiwi down the other end as well. To be fair, probably haven't made the most of their opportunities forward either. Could have had 3 or 4 shots on goal, but realistically just that one. Now comes out and he finds Shannon Rioli, a long way from home.
So much experience that Shannon brings to this side, the former Thunder and St Mary's captain. He's looking for Adam Tipping-Woody there, but
Shane Thorne.
Yeah, Shane Thorne with the one-hander, another one who's had AFL experience.
He kicks it inside 50. Lanyon with the double fister. Now comes out. I think that was White again. He'll have another crack, just kicks it, and that's a very well-placed kick again. Stevie Motlop just meters out from the goal square.
Plays on.
And that's through for a goal,
yeah.
So they get their third.
Stevie Motlop finishing it off for Wanderers. So a third goal, Wanderers 3-3-21, leading the Tiwi Bombers one straight goal at the 17-minute mark of this first quarter here at Gardens Oval. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season.
TV wouldn't be happy with this start, you'd think, Liz. Obviously, haven't had a lot of opportunities for glory and for celebration this year, and you'd think coming up against the team in 8th spot would be a pretty big opportunity, and they just haven't seemed to take it so far. 15 points down at quarter time. not a great result so far.
Yeah, let's hope they can bounce back and get a couple of goals and keep the score in check so that it is a competitive game. And I know Brenton Toy will talk to them at quarter time. They've got a really good support crew down there on the bench. Lindsay Whiting, the president, I can see. Sean Hill, Joshy Brogan, Shane Tipperman Tamiri, who's an absolute superstar, and Sandy Dirksen. So they've got a good team around them. As we see JJ Motlop just get the hands off to
Very
Thompson,
clever.
but the ball's hit the deck now, and the Tiwi Bombers might wrap up the Wanderers player there with the ball.
Giannini just took him to the ground. Slight player, but very hardy and gets involved when he needs to.
In and under, so Nicky will go up in the ruck again for Wanderers.
I think he got that one down there, but a kick almost a mini torpedo there towards the boundary line and taken over by Adam Tipping-Woody. Have another throw in just in front of the Waratah Club here at Gardens Oval. Nicky on to poor Montemeri. Montemeri gets it. Big high kick there. Will bounce over Rioli's head. Almost try to tackle him while he's on the ground. And will come out the back for Wanderers.
Play on, says the umpire.
Thorne in plenty of space now. He'll get a handball through to Totham. Totham approaches 50 and again just places it very well for Eddie Simpson.
He's just a huge unit, isn't he? There's probably no one from the Tiwi Bombers that can man up on him for size, so they're going to try and have to work him today. They've got Lachlan Ferry on him, so just giving away a bit of size though. So Ed Simpson in the 33, Guernsey. The Wanderers Indigenous Guernsey, which is a sensational Guernsey. Look good off the boot, but is just going to go over the top of the goalpost. So another behind for Wanderers. 3-4-22, leading the Tiwi Bombers one straight goal at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter.
So Sam Daly will be kicking it in. Another player who brings experience to the club, but unfortunately for Tiwi, probably hasn't been out there enough when he's needed to this year. Umpire calls play on and Cantilla gets it back over the top to Daly. Back to Cantilla again. Moving out very well. Are they building here now for a late charge? I think that's fairly a long way from his full-back, centre-half back position, but he'll keep moving, as do Tiwi. Getting under it, Adam Tipping-Woody. Just juggling the mark there. Very well taken the back line by the Wanderers. They go at that far side again. Brody Newman, the target. Just placed very well for him. Shifts inboard. They've got 4.
Yeah, they've got numbers here, Wanderers. And
there.
Simon Bates is running down the wing all on his own, calling for it. But a 50-metre penalty will be paid for impeding on the mark. And Stevie Motlop will be brought up to about the 35-metre mark. So putting him well in range for goal. His second goal of the quarter, if he can kick this, will.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good start for the Wanderers and for Motlop. He's seen a fair bit of the ball. We know he has that ability to create opportunities for himself, and he'd be pretty happy if he can kick this with a 2-goal opening term. Oh, that one just the wrong side of the post.
No, it's a goal.
A goal, it is.
An uncertain goal, but a second goal on the board to Stephen Motlop for the Wanderers. So the score now 4-4-28, Tiwi Bombers 1, straight goal 6. So straight out of AFL last season. Stevie started at Geelong, went to Port Adelaide, played a total of 217 AFL games and kicked 229 goals. So it's a fair resume. And of course, all 3 Motlop brothers played AFL, and their sister Lauren has bragging rights though. She's the first one to 150 in the NTFL, so fairly talented siblings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brought a lot to top-end footy. 22 minutes and 20 seconds, just ticking over.
So Tipple Montemeri gets it down, and O'Connell just does enough to extract it and kicks it forward. Motlop the target again. Couldn't take the mark, but running through his Thorn, he'll get a handball out now. Now pops out to Matthew Motlop. Couldn't take it cleanly, but just bursts into space, goes check side to the goal square. Fairley picks it up. Kicked as he's tackled into Fijo. Now snapped from Tyson White on goal.
touched.
Another behind for them, so they're peppering the goals late in this one. 9 scoring shots for the quarter against Tiwi's 1. Bennell now doing the kick-out duties, goes in and finds Hooker. Umpire will take it back.
So just a bit of a stoppage in play here. And Bennell switched to the back line after starting in the forward line for the Tiwi Bombers.
He's done that a bit this year, sort of
been their swingman.
Filled the hole where they need to. And I think we've got a free kick going against the Bombers. So
wow.
Looks like it'll be the big Ed Simpson.
Stevie Motlop raffling it there.
So Simpson adds another. That behind won't count. There must have been a hit after the disposal. And they move to 5-4-34, a 28-point lead.
So it's just really blown out in the last 5 or so minutes. The score here at Gardens Oval, Wanderers really taking the upper hand after a much more even start to the quarter. And 2 goals so far to Stevie Motlop, 1 to Caleb Nicky, 1 to Ed Simpson and 1 to Matthew Motlop, adding up to their 5 goals for the first quarter. While for the Tiwi Bombers, Harley Bennell, their sole goal kicker, and now he's switched to the back line. David Cruz not out there today for the Tiwi Bombers. He's been good all season.
Yeah, another handy player who just had a little bit more height, which is probably one of their biggest weaknesses, the Bombers. Never been known as a big, solid, tall, standing team.
And Wanderers are a tall team today.
Here's Lanyon. Kick forward. It'll be brought back and a free kick given.
Adam Tipperwoody, I think, or Shannon Rioli. No, they're calling the player back there.
Des Hipua-Montemiri.
Yep. He'll have to take that. So Shannon Rioli needs to run down. He's got options. Gets the hands off, and Shannon tries to step through players, but will be held ball. Good, pressure there by Thomas Boys of Wanderers.
Finds Motlop at centre half forward. He's got 1 contest ahead of him. He'll have to go to Morris, you'd think. He gives it off to Fijo. Fijo runs instead to 50. Goes towards goal. Big kick. Will that make it all the way? It has.
What a goal. And Keelan Fijo is goes out with Stevie's cousin Brittany, so they're just keeping it in the family today, the Motlops. And a great goal there. Becomes their 5th goal kicker. The score 6-3, I think it is, or 6-4 for Wanderers.
4, yep. 34-point lead, very quickly blew out from only about 15 points, about 5 or 7 minutes ago. Yeah,
Wanderers kicking the first goal, Tiwi the second, but it's been Wanderers who have taken it away since then.
Holding back in the ruck now for the Bombers. What can he add? Note Lanyon's also in the middle, so too Munkara and Tipalura. Getting hands to it first, though, the Wanderers.
Yeah, Tiwi Bombers just need to dig deep here and just keep themselves in the game. Try and get a goal before quarter time, and they've been given a free kick here in the middle. So real opportunity here. Hands off to Dion Munkara. Looking for Shannon Rioli.
Oy.
Oh, wow.
Very good leap there, but just didn't quite have enough on it. And that number 3 plays not on our team sheet, so don't know exactly who it is. We'll try and find out for you. But
that out. But if he'd taken it, it would have been goal of the year, and we wouldn't have known who it was. So Bo O'Connell running it down there. Chain of quick handballs there with Stevie Motlop. Getting the kick in, looking for Eddie Simpson, and he just uses his body strength to take another great mark there over the top of Fairley. So he'll kick it from about 40 metres out from the far side. Ed Simpson. Been in and out of this Wanderers team for the past couple of seasons.
Probably plays, or probably has played better for Wanderers when he's been up forward. I think that's more a point of it means they've got a more bona fide ruckman in their side. But he's very capable in the ruck as well. Good kick from him. Just fades though. Or has it gone
No.
through? It has. He's very happy with that.
Yeah,
So
all of his teammates got around him straight away. So a 7th goal on the board for Wanderers right on the quarter time siren. It's been all Wanderers in the first quarter. We'll go to the break and come back with the second quarter after these messages. Right, we've got 2 different scores going on here. Still on my head in. So what score have you got?
To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute rip sorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval here on beautiful Larrakia country for the second quarter of this round 16 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers. It's quarter time with the Tiwi Bombers just one straight goal. Wanderers, meanwhile, broke away 7-5-47. Will, after a close first few minutes, it was all Wanderers in the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we thought that hopefully this would be a game that the Bombers rock up for and try and win. Obviously, they're still in their huddle down there just trying to get the final messages across, but they've really dropped off probably about halfway through that quarter, maybe the 15-minute mark. It was only about 2.5 goals. Suddenly that blew out to 41 points.
And the Wanderers players are all looking at them, wondering if they're going to come out, but here they come. The siren went a good minute or so ago as they run back out to position. So Ed Simpson is looking nice and sweaty out there in the middle waiting for the ball up. So Brenton Toy, the coach of Tiwi Bombers, obviously wanting to have a big chat to his players and ask them to give for the rest of the game. And they had a good Banks show of support by the Banks Footy Club around them, Will, which is your footy club.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good connection there between the Bombers and the Banks Footy Clubs. Obviously, they're sort of semi-aligned. We've got 4 Banks players playing for the Bombers today in Giannini, Lanyon, Holding and Fairley.
Yep.
And I think they're a pretty good quartet to head up and help out the Bombers. Obviously hasn't had a huge impact so far, staring down a 41-point lead. But, yeah, we do love that connection that we've got with the Bombers.
And the Banks celebrating their 45th anniversary tonight as we're finally going to get this second quarter underway here at Gardens Oval.
So, Tipua to Mary, he got an unlikely hit out there. Comes down to O'Connell, though. Now out to Thorne. Gets a handball back to O'Connell.
Looking super fit, O'Connell.
Have to work it by hand, the Wanderers. Good pressure from the Bombers. Giannini gets a handball to Stan Tipalura. Turns around one, gets it back. Now to Fairley and Fairley to Darley. To kick it to Rioli, who's effectively in the middle of 3 opponents. Wanderers work it centre-half forward. Lanyon try to take it, going back with a flight. Cantilla, he now works it back to Hooker. Hooker will go short and out to Austral. Fast start in this second quarter here. Now finds Dunn. Dunn will turn and go as he does so regularly. Breaks the lines. Now kicks inside 50. Dos Santos couldn't get a fist away. Now Taylor, first time we've called his name today on the field. Good kick out there. I think that's Weitra, and he goes back in, finds Arbin. Now to Newman. Newman will come out to Thorne.
Been busy today, Shane Thorne. Another one-handed grab there. He's got Ed Simpson running on the inside, and he gets that off to him quite easy. A little chip kick. Looks like Keelan Fijo, is it, in the number 8? Yep, Keelan.
Kicks across goal, and that's very well placed again for Stevie Mollop. We've had a very good, just sort of waiting on their kicks today, Liz.
They have, yeah, hitting the targets most of the time. And Stevie gave Keelan the goal at the end of the first quarter. So Keelan's returning the favour and giving Stevie another shot on goal. He's throwing the grass up. There's not too much wind here today. It's a very still and humid day after some clouds this morning and a bit of drizzle overnight. It's quite a hot and humid day.
This will be Stevie's first game at Gardens Oval, probably since his junior days, and already he's got 2 goals. That won't add to the tally, just to behind.
It's the sort of day that if they keep up that delivery and he kicks accurately, he could end up with a bag. But another behind for Wanderers. So 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the second quarter. Wanderers 7-6-48, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1 straight goal.
I think it's Hooker at fullback, taking a kick in. Again, you sort of expect him to just go long. That's no exception. Mark couldn't be taken by Tipalura. They look for a Tipalura so often. Gets a handball out to Holding now. Holding had to be quick, and he was. Kicks it to the run there of Cunningham. Taylor, though, just beats him to it. Caresses it over the boundary line.
Well, Tipalura would have been a Wanderers junior, I think, from memory. So he's still very young and playing senior footy. They have got, lots of experience out there, the Tiwi Bombers, in Shannon Rioli, who I'm watching, pointing to players and trying to get them in position, and Harley Bennell leading on the field. So let's see if they can lift in this second quarter.
Simpson working it back now to Arbin. Arbin to Taylor. Taylor goes out to Thorne. As you say, he's been very busy Just almost Kudafiti's like the way he holds it with one hand.
Jared Brennan.
Good strong tackle there from Jason Burke. Just his second game here for the Bombers and playing very well. A good kick inside. Holding couldn't take the mark. Arbin, he'll get a handball to Dos Santos. Dos Santos just throws on the boot to get out of the danger zone. Fairley's coming in from the back. Couldn't take the mark. Managed to keep possession though, gets it out to Rioli. Rioli will get it back to Fairley. Fairley will go wide again to Braden Rioli. This time Braden Rioli on his left snuck it through.
Wow.
Holding takes the mark.
Great mark and great
pocket.
kick.
Good build up there from Tiwi.
That was, and Braden's feet went outside the lines, but he managed to keep the ball in and the umpire was right there. So correct decision made and Tiwi will have a shot on goal.
Very tight angle.
Got five Wanderers around him too, putting the pressure on, and that ball's gone across the face of goal. And just a point. Brody Newman bring it in for Wanderers.
Not a good kick into Arbin. Immediately under pressure from Tipping Woody. Try to tunnel ball it through to Taylor. Taylor just picks it up and spins around. Still under pressure, but handballs back in the corridor to JJ Motlop. He now goes out in the pocket, Dos Santos. Burke putting pressure on as well. Not a good kick at all. Rioli just goes through his legs. Totham, he'll pick it up, get it out now to Wheatra. Wheatra works it forward and Totham will get it back on that back flank. Works it down the line, baits the target, but good spoil there from Cantilla. And he's probably been Tiwi's best so far today.
Yeah, he's been outstanding in defence, and Simon Bates just pulling up sore there, limping around. So trying to shake out a niggle in his leg, left leg it looks like.
Looks very ginger. Hit out comes down to Giannini and now to Munkara. Bates in all sorts of trouble in the background. Munkara works it forward. And that's a very well placed kick. Umpire called play on for Cunningham. He goes back to Tipul Montemeri. Kicks it out now to Giannini. Giannini will play on. Goes a short one to Holding. Holding goes back to Gia. And Gia just snaps it forward. Now with Bennell. Bennell throws on the boot. Kicks it high, almost directly up and down. Kibillo, he gets a fist to it and taken over the boundary line by Dos Santos.
So 5.5 minute mark of the second quarter here. Tiwi Bombers have got it down their end.
Bates still looking very sore in front of us.
Yeah, Wanderers have got a couple of players. Caleb Nicky rotating with Jaden Adams there, and White calling for Batesy to rotate, but Batesy's waved him away.
O'Connell, he now extracts it and gets it out of the defensive 50. Good work there from Hooker, though, just to keep it there. And they're trying to build some sort of fortress. Bates now coming off to the bench, you would think.
Slowly, but he's right in the middle of play at the moment, so he'll have to wait. And umpire Jade Ferry throwing that in.
Probably could have just snuck off then. Wants a little bit more action before a spell.
He's a competitive beast, Batesy. So roved off the pack by Tiwi, but smothered by Thompson.
Farmer, he need to try to pick it up. Heenan at the bottom of it now. Boys, he's been pretty lively today as well for the Wanderers in the middle. Comes back this week. Umpire will call a ball up.
JJ Motlop last to get up, pulling up Paddy Heenan off the bottom of the pack.
Tipul Montemeri gets it down. Darley just kicks it into space in the forward line. Dos Santos, you'd think he'd be first to it, and he takes it cleanly. Works it out to Matthew Motlop. Goes over him. Lanyon put pressure on.
Great hands. Very
slick play, and the big fella will take a mark a long way from home, so he'll give it off. They'll keep going. Clee kicks it inside full forward.
Cantilla again.
He goes out now to Farmer. Farmer, though, just not quick enough and wasn't a good kick. Didn't help him at all. Rolls over the boundary line.
How good was the defence there by Brendan Cantilla one-on-one with Stevie Motlop and playing in front and taking that mark in defence, saving a goal there. It was such a good lead-up by the Wanderers.
Not an easy prospect coming up against Stevie Motlop at all, is it? Ball now comes down in front, gets to Thorne. Thorne just paddling it through. Giannini picks it up now. Hooker gets it out to Darley. Darley goes further to Munkara. Munkara on his trusty left goes into the middle. Finds Dunn. Dunn on his left now. Kicks it to the run of a teammate. Totham, though, just got to it first. Kicks it long to Cabillo. Cabillo forward. Now just changing gear, going backwards in terms of pace. Back to Cabillo. They've really slowed the tempo down here, the Wanderers.
Nice easy kick in there to Thomas Boys. Looking for Stevie Motlop again.
Motlop picks it up. Snaps on goal on his left. Has that gone through? It has. What a goal that was from Stevie Motlop. His third of the afternoon and extends the margin again to 47 points, 8-6-54. Wanderers leading Tiwi 1-1-7.
Yeah, Stevie loving the not set shots. He hasn't kicked one from a set shot, I don't think, today. He's just loving the Eddie Betts style play on. So Wanderers just still increasing their lead. Mitchell Taylor back on the sidelines with Simon Bates, who's still walking around gingerly after doing something to his leg, but not wanting to come off. So there's a really good crowd in, as we said already, here today at Gardens Oval. And Dave Tottam, the runner for Wanderers, who's Marcus's dad. So it's a family affair here at Gardens Oval today for both teams.
Ball in the middle. Can Tiwi bounce back to Paul Montgomery. Gets it down to Boys. Boys goes forward for the Eagles again. And Motlop again, the target. They just keep going to him. Can't take the mark. A few players jump on him. Try and work it out. Motlop almost flung without it. He'll get paid a free kick against Munkara. Munkara not happy.
So I have another set shot on goal, Stevie.
Do you think he'll look to play?
I'm going to start writing down his points. How many did he? I think he missed 2 in the first quarter.
I think 2 potentially.
2.
Yeah.
So he's probably had 5 shots on goal for three goals at the moment. We'll give him that stat. I've got a feeling he's going to kick a few today.
He's already got 3.
Looking ominous.
It's a good kick. And he's gone through for a goal, so he gets his 4th.
So I was just giving him curry about not kicking set shots, and he's proved me wrong, Stevie Motlop. 4 goals for the Wanderers he's kicked. So the score now, Wanderers 9-6-60, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-1-7. So 10.5-minute mark of the second quarter here at Gardens Oval, and you're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. We've got a few interesting games being played around Darwin in the Men's Premier League today, as we were talking about earlier, Will. So Southern District's taking on Point out at Fred's Pass, Norbuild Oval at 4 p.m. And we've got Nightcliff taking on the Darwin Buffaloes at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval at 6:30, while St Mary's will take on Palmerston tonight at TIO Stadium.
You'd think Tigers and Buffs would be the pick of the bunch, just given what's up for stakes there. Both still in contention for the top 5, but Pint hot on their tails.
They are.
Back to the game at hand. And
Great defence.
Great defence there from both the Wanderers and Tiwi coming out there. The Ruckman, Tipua Montgomery getting involved. And even that Pint Districts game looms large. Pint only went down by, I think, 4 points last time they played. So it could be a danger game for Districts, who also don't have as much to play for either.
Shannon Rusker was on 9 News last night saying he won't be taking Pints lightly. So they've garnered a lot of respect from the NTFL clubs in their first season of Premier League men's this season, as we see Brody Newman get a free kick in the back line for Wanderers.
It's been a good first season for Pint. Sort of they've had a few blemishes along the way. Obviously a loss and a draw to Tiwi, the ones that got away, you'd think, but they've also then beaten some pretty good sides there in St Mary's earlier in the season. They had a very good win last week, probably their best performance against the Buffs, and still chasing, knocking on the finals door. Here's O'Connell now inside 50, the big fella, Eddie Simpson.
The strength.
Muscles his way through. He's just kicked 1. He's kicked 2 today, 2 in that first quarter.
Yeah, and going back to that chat, Nightcliff having a 2-point win over St Mary's. Saints probably shouldn't have lost that, but Nightcliff, after losing quite a few in a row, are now back on track for their finals campaign. So it's a really exciting final season coming up in the men's and the women's competition. Probably the best and most even we've seen in a number of years.
Big Simpson comes in.
Yeah, he didn't quite kick through that. He kind of chipped it up in the air like a golf shot.
Yeah, it almost feels like he's getting a bit too close to the man on the mark today, and he's not allowing himself to follow through and keep it low and hard, and the wind's sort of catching onto it a little bit there. Yeah,
so they've had 16 scoring shots to 2, which is probably the story of the day so far, Will, as Tiwi bring that back in.
Darley goes forward to Lanyon. Very formidable player and resume, Lanyon. Now works it back to Darley. Pushing it down that far side. This might be Michael Thompson, who was that player before, number 3. We didn't have on our team sheets, just had a last-minute number change. Now working it forward, and a rare mark inside 50 to the Bombers. I think this might be John Tipalura.
I think you are right. In the number 21, he's on the far side of the field. So he'll kick it from right on the 50, I think.
So comes in and kicks it. Looks like it's across the face. And Newman again just takes the mark. Another disposal to his name.
Yeah, he's really established himself as one of the elite backmen of the NTFL. Was rewarded with a rep Guernsey this year and last year. So originally from down south, but has moved up to Darwin. As that kick goes in, he finds his teammate in Daniel Clee.
Now goes down to Motlop. Can't take the mark, but again just does the work at ground level, and you love his third and second and third efforts. Turn over there though. Here's Munkara. Sells a can. He gets around one. Now kicks on goal.
Dion
Beautiful
Munkara.
effort. And he gives the Bombers something to cheer about. Their second goal of the day. Reduces the margin, but what a finish that was from the superstar.
Yeah, it was low, and great work by teammate in the goal square to hold the Wanderers players as well. So a second goal for the day to the Tiwi Bombers at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, Dion Munkara, and he's been one of the more experienced players in the team. He's had a stellar career, played in the Tiwi Bombers Premiership, played for NT Thunder. He's an excitement machine. Like if he gets the ball and goes for a run, he loves the crowd along the wing. So that's a good lifter for the Tiwi Bombers, and hopefully they can keep it up and keep chipping away at the score. The score up, Wanderers 10-6-61 to Tiwi Bombers 2-1-13. 10-6-66, sorry. Looking at two different scores here on the scoreboard and the screen.
Holding gets the ball down to Lanyon. Lanyon wrapped up in a tackle instantly. Good work from boys there to put the pressure on. They just paddle it through the mud. It looks pretty dry out there. Kicked forward, I think that was from Nicky.
Good fist away there by Shane Thorne.
Now Farmer gets it out. Cantilla could have gone back to Lanyon. Instead, he works it forward to Austral. Austral goes out that far side, and Dunn gone for a run. He'll pick it up and barely breaks stride. Now goes into Rioli. Very beautiful kick.
Oh, hasn't got it.
Free kick paid to Rioli.
Yeah, it was there all day. So round the neck and dragging the player down to the ground, and Daniel Weecher, his NT Thunder Premiership teammate, just giving him a tap. The boys will be catching up out there. Would have played in a lot of grand finals against each other when Shannon was at St Mary's as well, and Wheaties with Wanderers. Massive rivalry over the years. Wheaties, one of the best defenders in the NTFL in the last decade, undersized defender.
So Rioli comes in. Didn't really give it a huge run up, but didn't need to. Is that one gone through? Just through behind.
So Shannon Rioli with another point on the board for the Tiwi Bombers. Mitchell Taylor bringing it in quickly, hitting up his teammate there in Arbonne.
Good mark there. I don't think it was intended for him, but good mark for the Wanderers player. And handball off to Totham, not good.
Oh, Tipalura's unloaded.
What a goal that is.
What a goal.
2 in a row, and maybe they're doing what Tiwi does, just putting on a flurry of goals and working their way back into the game. Still a 41-point margin or a 46-point margin I think we've got, but 2 goals and 2 pretty spectacular goals at that. They could be on the move.
Yeah, Stanley Tipalura with that one. As I said, I'm pretty sure he's a former Wanderers junior, but just got that ball and chucked it on the boot. He actually had a player short, and I was thinking, well, why didn't he pass it? But, you know, if you can kick goals like that, why not? It's exactly what the Tiwi Bombers needed. So 3-2-20, the Tiwi Bombers now.
Tipalura, part of the Bombers contingent who train here at Gardens with the Banks boys, so he'd know those goals very well.
We've got a whistle. And not too sure what's going to go on here. They're looking at the 6-6-6 rule, I think.
All looks to be in order.
Yep. Umpire will go again, balling it up.
Ball out to O'Connell. He's been very good at that in recent weeks, just extracting it and bouncing forward, but couldn't get it there accurately. Here's Giannini in the middle of the ground. He kicks it. Heenan running back with a flight, got boot to ball, and it's just ping-ponging around there.
Yeah, players just going to ground. Tiwi Bombers are trying to rip it out, but be Wanderers will get the short kick out of defence into some safe hands on the defensive 50.
Approaching the 20-minute mark. We've just ticked over 19 minutes, so you'd think Wanderers would probably be looking to slow down the game a little bit here. They've got a fair bit of damage on the scoreboard already. What they wouldn't want to do is give away a few cheap and easy ones and give the Bombers a sniff that they're back in this one.
Yeah, it's 3-2 this quarter, Will. Wanderers kicking 3 and Tiwi 2. So the Tiwi coaching staff will be a bit happier with this quarter. So plays just stopped on the far side, nearly at the 20-minute mark of this second quarter. Wanderers looking downfield, and Stevie Motlop just wrapping that ball up.
It's probably the first mark he's taken all day. Now,
looking for Ed Simpson.
Good kick inside 50, but just beyond Simpson. Now Bates looks to have more or less recovered from whatever he was struggling with before. Fairly gets a handball out, though. Good work from the big fella. Now goes inboard to Rioli. Good kick there from Cantilla. Heenan calling for it on the run. Doesn't go out there. Instead kicks it out to a player on the burst, and Heenan in plenty of space still. Will he go short to him? He will, not on the full. Heenan will have to go. Snaps on goal. Big high floater. Burke at the fall of it.
Oh, he's dropped
Santos has dropped it. Bennell, he's looming dangerously. He's got a player out the back in John Tipalura if he can get it to him. Is that rolled to the goals?
What a
it
goal.
has. Fantastic effort there.
Unbelievable goal there by the Tiwi Bombers, and Wanderers just left to rue a couple of drop marks there. So Stanley Tipalura kicked a goal, and John said, if you can do it, I'll do it too. So 2 goals in a row to the Tipaluras sees the Tiwi Bombers now 4-26, trailing Wanderers.
And it's that sort of footy that, you know, no matter what the score is, obviously even in this one, it's a pretty big margin already, but if they can play like that, they'll keep the crowds here all day.
Absolutely. Exciting football. And obviously the coach's directive at quarter time was just go for goals. Let's chip it back on the scoreboard.
Have fun perhaps as well. Looks like they're trying to have fun with their footy out there.
Play your own brand.
Back in the middle. And Munkara will take it very cleanly. Goes inside 50. John Tipalura couldn't take the mark. Now Michael Thompson just snaps on goal. It'll bounce the goal square, you'd think. No, it's just the wrong side of the post, through from behind. But
well, exciting lead up, Will. Yeah, and how slick was that out of the middle by Dion Munkara? He's electric when he's on, that fella, I tell you that.
Taylor plays on instantly. Kicks it long. Newman couldn't take the mark. A rare occasion when he couldn't. And Tipua Montemeri just goes a short, sharp one into Rioli. Rioli on a tight angle near the apex of the 50 in the boundary. He'll play on and go. What a kick that is. Is it coming back?
Oh.
Not quite enough. That would have been something.
And again, he had players on, but Harley Bennell's telling him I was there. But Braden elected to take the kick. The younger brother of Daniel Rioli, who 3-time Richmond Premiership player.
Kick goes beyond him.
Oh.
Almost just pushed to ground was Giannini.
Yeah, almost a free kick there, but the umpire will ball it up. So 22.5-minute mark of the second quarter. So a much more exciting second quarter than the first, Will. We've been treated to some exciting footy.
And Tiwi slowly but surely working their way back into it. Adams gets a hit out down, and I think that was Munkara again, just kicking it forward. Free kick will be paid again, this time to Wanderers.
They're going to switch it quickly to the grandstand side. Simon Bates is waiting under it.
Doesn't have a lot to kick to.
He doesn't. He's getting chased as well. Pushed off the ball as he kicked it, looking for Shane Thorne. Trying the one-hander again, but double team there by the Tiwi Bombers.
Goes to Giannini. He's got Burke forward. He goes beyond him to Tipalura.
Oh, Mitchell Taylor.
Good fist in there from Taylor. And good attack on it by Dos Santos. I think it was Tottenham who was caressed over there by Tipalura.
So the endeavours there by both teams, this still at the end of this second quarter, Will, which is really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be a throw in right in front of the Wanderers bench. It beats everyone.
Now comes the hooker. Hooker just snaps it to the hot spot. Bennell's there.
Bennell,
Hooker just got an unkind bounce. It's still alive.
Still
Tipping Woody got around one. He'll snap on goal. Has that gone through? It has.
Town.
Umpire's called it out of bounds.
The umpire's got no sense of occasion, Will. That would have been goal of the year. And Harley Bennell did the right thing there. He was trying to shepherd it through. But the ball bounced back into play.
Yeah, very unkind bounce there for Hooker. That would have bounced through for... That could have been its own goal of the year nominee then. What can Tiwi work from this ball up?
If they get one more here before half-time...
Bennell just takes it out, snaps it, out of bounds on the full low.
If they get one more here before half-time, Will, you know, they've won the quarter and pegged it right back in Premiership third quarter, as they call it. We know Tiwi have the ability to switch on and do it all again.
Taylor just calling his troops over to this far side. Newman, you'd think would be the target. A bit of a floater. That's out on the full. So Wanderers keeping the Bombers in with some hope here. Hooker a big kick. I think he'd go into that centre corridor, into that hot spot.
It's a congested forward line. He's just going to go for goal.
I think he might have launched and loaded.
Oh, the siren. Wow.
Just touched through.
What an exciting quarter, Will. The Tiwi Bombers really taking control of that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Still just trying to work out the scores. I think it's it'll finish on about a 32-point margin here at half-time. Main scorers for Wanderers, Stevie Motlop, he's kicked 4, and singles to Fijo, Nicky and Matthew Motlop. Eddie Simpson kicked 2 in that first quarter. Meanwhile, for the Bombers, it was Tipalura, both John and Stan with 1 each in that quarter, as well as Dion Mankara. And in the first quarter, Harley Bennell.
Yeah, as I said, the Tiwi Bombers winning that quarter after getting smashed by Wanderers in the first quarter. We'll go to the halftime break and be back for the second half very soon.
In fine form today. And that's another good kick from him. He's going to Shannon. Shannon gets a handball off and gets it back. Little 1-2. Now has a shot on goal. Beautiful kick.
Nice.
Great running goal. Him. It's to the lead of Evans. Couldn't mark it. Set up. Hooper. Picks it up, gets through a few. Gets a handball out as he's tackled. Handball will come back. Wilson snaps on goal. Beats the fingertips of the defender and goes through. What a goal that was from Sean Wilson from full forward. Dunstan too busy deliberating with the umpire. He goes to full forward now. He had 2 to beat. Smith roving. What can he do? He's taken down, got a handball out. And goal from Southern Districts. Just lurking at full forward there was Sam McManus. He gets his first of the afternoon. He's unlucky there, Fijo. Just found himself in the wrong position with the ball at the wrong time. Good kick from Wilson. It's gone long. It goes out the back. Can he get a boot to ball? He can. Instant reply from Nightcliff again. So they extend the lead again out to 10 points. Top. I think that was Hammond. He got a handball back inboard. Now running through is Politis. Politis runs onto it in space. It's being hunted down. Kicks it inside 50. Ball bounces over the back. Tigers run into open goal. And is that
Shawnee Wilson?
Shawnee Wilson. He's kicked his second for the day. He can't take it. He kicks it to Brody Philo. He couldn't take the mark, but he rolls around. Almost held without it. Plays for it. Umpire takes it. Pays advantage. And that's a goal to Nightcliff. They're really putting a bit of a buffer on. It's gone to Ryan Moo. Sorry, not Ryan Moo. That's Daniel Quinn.
Daniel caught 4 to Nightcliff's 5 goals, 8.
It's a 28-point, I guess, extension or addition to the margin. It's another shot on goal from that tight pocket. I think it's Mentha. He'll play on and snap. A few more words of encouragement from the crowd. That one another behind, or is it a goal?
They worked that time.
to go. So maybe that's the trick, go, just snap from that angle.
Around the wing to Mitchell, who spilt the mark but had time to recover. Kicks inside 50. Oh, gets past everyone there. Stafford just waiting at the back, falls into his lap, runs around, kicks it on the outside of the boot this time, and he's got his third grey out of the 3 goals that Buffaloes have kicked. Orlando Turner, but not much closer to goal, and there's still a couple of kicks away as Turner goes long inside 50 now. Big leap, but Eddie Betts at the back of the pack. So he's only about 20 metres out, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle. So Eddie's on the board for the first time tonight, and a much needed goal by Palmerston as we approach quarter time, Gray. And Buffaloes tidy up at the back and bring it out to the near side, but there's plenty of Palmerston jumpers out here as Big Pedersen presents himself and takes that intercept mark in front of Bolch.
I think he's the key to Palmerston making a real impression.
Kicks going all the way to the line and just gets over. That's a great goal. And on the left, hooks it in towards the goal square. Oh, Pedersen dropped what he should have taken. The hand pass comes out to Jared Stokes. He floats it up. It's not going to score, I don't think. A Bolch comes in over the top, claims the mark, and it's been paid.
Well, I'll show that, Davies, that I can play. A very good mark.
So kicks on the way, no problem at all. And Darwin Buffaloes with the first goal of the quarter. Across the back there, Hank gets the hand pass forward, but another headband there. Pendlebury, his numbers changed for those viewing on the screen, but the ball comes out to Josiah Farah here. He has a shot for goal. It's going all the way. I think he's floated it through. He has just had enough on it. That up. The big kick comes back in, and Mark Spilt back here, and oh yes, he's a kick into the goal square. Bolch is there again, and he's got 2 for the quarter. So just a bit untidy by Palmerston down there. Ran themselves into trouble, and Darwin pounced. And Thomas Bolch got on the end of it for his second goal for the quarter. He's had a couple of bounces now. Our third bounce all the way around that outer side. Works down to half forward. Gets the kick inside forward. 50 now. And out on the lead was Betts. And the umpires adjudged that he was being held in the marking contest.
At Carlton and Adelaide, so
probably practiced it a bit more than plenty of the others, and no problem whatsoever. And Eddie gets himself on the board for his second goal, and Stafford dropped the mark out there, but Bowles, his teammate, swoops on it and now kicks long down inside forward 50. Bolch in the marking contest, the ball's punched forward. Jared Stokes swoops on it now, kicks towards goal, and he's a beautiful finisher. And Jared Stokes, if he didn't have
of mates. Tom Gaydon for point. Gets it across. Dropped what he should have taken. Picked up and a tackle taken. Play on called the umpire, correctly so. Wouldn't have been taken much longer because he was tackled. Picked up, I reckon that was Tottenham. Kicks it inside forward, and there's the first goal. And the first goal he scored 3 minutes 33 seconds into the second term.
Shane Thorne getting the goal, the first one. Was the first one there.
Braden McLean. Point. Working hard, inside forward 50. Here's their big chance, off the side of the boot, and they've got it. They've finally got a goal, and that was Silva Yusuf, a goal to point, and that puts them back in the game. Not noted goal kicker, 55 metres from goal, man on the mark, will have to kick from about 60, gives it plenty, makes the square, Simpson down there, ball on the ground, kicked off the ground, and well done. That was Brodie Newman. We normally see him at centre half back. He's actually kicked a goal off the ground. That was a gift. Trouble for Wanderers. McLean, here's the call. Does it nicely. Handballs to Penrith. Penrith kicks the goal. That was just a comedy of errors by the defence of Wanderers, and Ethan Penrith has kicked a goal. Toss it up. Jones grabs the ball out of the ruck. Simpson finishes up with it. Loses possession. Running around onto the right boot. And a goal. Did you pick that player up? Only as far as a point defender, and that's Henry Tregowath. Tregowath goes inside 50. Can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Silva Yusuf kicks the goal. That is the nail in the coffin. Silva Yusuf.
It's his second goal. We thought he'd got another one earlier on, but it was touched off the boot. But he's now got 2 goals for the game.
Because Point just move around and use handball very, very well. D'Souza, been a good player, but missed the mark. Ball on the ground, in dispute, picked up Point. Kick on goal. Jones has got another one for the team. Andrew Jones, he becomes a multiple goal scorer. Really good umpiring again. We've praised the umpires, and that was another good one.
Smother.
But kicked into the man on the mark, which is an absolute sin. Smith goes forward, gets it out in the Penrith direction. Penrith runs his full measure, gets steadies, kicks on goal, and nails it.
Yep. Been a good player for him tonight, Penrith. They've given him so much room. He's got 3 goals now.
Far out to score. Nice kick. Got to have someone to take a mark. Simpson can't get Cabillo front and square, and he gets the goal. That's Keelan Fijo. Keelan Fijo has a goal. Well done to him.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval for the third quarter of this round 16 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers. The score at halftime, 9-7-61. Wanderers leading the Tiwi Bombers at 4-5-30. A 31-point margin, Will, which is good because at quarter time we were thinking it was all Wanderers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, keep in mind Wanderers do have the scoring in this end, but Tiwi definitely made the most of it. They won that last quarter. 3 goals and 5 behinds to, I think it was 1 goal, 2 in the end. So definitely, particularly towards the end, sort of stamped their authority a bit. And they really started to have fun with it as well. We saw 3 fantastic goals from Dio Mankara, just sort of running through one of his laser beam-like left-footed passes. We also saw an absolute belter from Stan Tipalura from outside 50. And then a dribbler from John Tipalura down that end. So, yeah, Tiwi just playing the way that Tiwi does, keeping it exciting. Hopefully they can back it up in the second half, and that's not a bad start for them. Giannini was sort of bumped off the ball, but here comes Stan Tipalura, kicks it inside 50 now. Jason Burke, good pressure from behind. Now picked up from Taylor. He gets a handball out to Boys, comes back, and they'll come across the big man, Eddie Simpson. Takes a mark. He's got room to move here. Finds Cabillo.
The crowd getting right into it now. The Tiwi Bombers women have finished their game on the back oval, had a good win over Wanderers, so they're all in support now. Nicky working his opposition player off the ball there to take a good mark.
Don't underestimate the power of the crowd either, Liz. It's, it'll definitely help bring them more into the game now. They've got some more numbers in their side. But that's a good mark from Stevie Motlop. He's kicked 4 today already, and this one just marked 15 metres out, almost directly in front. Looking like he'll run around and do a snap again. There he goes.
Kicked it easily. Stevie Motlop with number 5. So the 1 minute mark pretty much on the dot in the third quarter, and it is Wanderers with the first goal through Stevie Motlop. He's been a real key forward for them today.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been pretty good for them all season. You'd almost say, looking at the fact they had him, they had Eddie Simpson, and there's another player who just skips my mind at the moment, but early in the season they had three likely forwards up there and they just couldn't convert the goals. You almost wonder why they are sitting 8th in the ladder when they've got such power in their forward line. Yeah,
they've certainly got a lot of talent on paper. Sometimes doesn't quite come together, but if they can all stick around for next season and keep on building, they've got a number of youngsters that have come through Premier League this season, so that should hold them instead.
So Simpson gets it down and Tipalura works it forward again. Giannini picks it up, doesn't take it cleanly though, and Thorne again, he died off a little bit in that last.
Oh, Fijo with the big fly, but it comes off hand. Simon Bates trying to get that handball over. Tiwi now trying to work it out through a chain of handballs, but nearly cut off there by Batesy. It's a hot potato out there, Will.
Motlop rolls around, snaps it forward, and sitting there waiting is Darley. Darley work it out to Lanyon.
Disciplined defence there by the Tiwi Bombers. Would have gone through for a goal.
Goes back to Darley, who didn't take it easy, but made sure he held on to it. Now goes out to Cantilla. But Dre Thompson just sitting in the hole, intercepts it. Almost a little handshake there as they tried to... good work from Thompson. Just dances around the man on the mark. Now kicks towards goal. Is that going through? What a goal there from Dre Thompson.
A goal by Dre Thompson. We'll mark down another one for Wanderers.
And they've really started this quarter on a different level, haven't they? 2 goals in the first 3 minutes.
He's been exciting all game, Dre. He's always around the ball, working hard. He's a very, very exciting player, but that was just a beautiful kick off the boot, and he gets his first goal. He won a Rising NT News Rising Star nomination back in 2019-20 season after making his Premier League debut in the 18-19 season, but he won 3 premierships, I think, in juniors, under 16s, and 2 in under 18. So, but certainly stamped himself as a men's Premier League player since making his debut. So Wanderers getting the score on the board early in this third quarter.
Giannini back to Tipalura. It's almost been the tail of the tape this second half, but they just can't seem to get that third disposal and third connection right. Again, Wanderers just intercepts it. Thorne got it over the top to Cabillo. Cabillo out to the run there now. Vuitra. He goes inside 50 to Motlop again, but good work from Cantilla. Just read it well. In fact, I think it's Austral down there. He gets through the tackle, goes a short, sharp one forward, but not effective. Arbin gets a handball off to Simpson. Simpson now to Matthew Motlop, running back with the flight, won't meet the ball. Dunn, he's running through. Overran it though. Matthew Motlop kicks it over the top. Will that work for them? Goes through them all. Steve Motlop, bit of magic coming up for him perhaps. Fairly though, he picks it up the last line of defence and just kicks it out to Lanyon. Didn't hit him on the full. Now goes to Giannini. Back to Lanyon. Fairley's kept running and they'll go over the top to him as well. But Matthew Motlop was in the hole again. So Fairley had to wrap him up. And don't know about that. A bit of a 0-0 draw there.
Yeah, well, Tiwi, good to see them running in numbers a bit more this quarter. So pressure on there for Wanderers. So Simpson again in the ruck, just his size. Quick handball out there. Fijo getting another handball to Matty Motlop. Yes. And a third goal early in this third quarter for the Wanderers.
Really starting to build here, and suddenly it's back out to I think it's a 50-point margin.
Matty Motlop with his second of the day. Stevie Motlop with 5. Keelan Fijo, Caleb Nicky, Dre Thompson with 1, Ed Simpson and Matty Motlop with 2. So again, Tiwi with the work to do now, Will, to peg them back on the scoreboard, put some pressure on.
Absolutely, and I think Tiwi probably would have gone into this quarter thinking we're heading down the wrong end. It's not the scoring end at all. But if we can try and restrict them to just a couple of goals for the quarter, maybe we'll be in for a chance in the final 10. We've got the wind helping us out and the field helping us out, but it's not to be. It's only 6 minutes in and they've already kicked that couple of goals. So you'd really think they need to peg a few back from here and really not let the Wanderers score for the rest of this quarter. Darley through the middle now. He kicks it forward. Beats all comers. Mark is taken by Thompson, given off to Tipping Woody. He goes to full forward to Bennell. Holding tried to work to it, but it rolls over the boundary line.
Yeah, that umpire's whistle just a little bit delayed there and the players kind of lost momentum. Tiwi, though, a good build-up, a lot better. And they've got it a throw-in right next to their point post. So good opportunity here for them to get a goal back.
Holding on Simpson in the ruck. Holding gets it down, works in front. Bennell also trying to keep possession.
Getting held there without the ball. It was just in front of him. It's going to go over the top, and a good mark there to Brendan Cantilla, who's been my best for the Tiwi Bombers today. Hasn't missed a beat in defence when it's come near him. They're going to switch over to the grandstand side here.
Well placed from Hooker. Usually a big long bomb, but not always accurate. That one, not a long one, but an accurate one.
And every player, bar Stevie Motlop and Austral, is in the Tiwi Bombers half of the field. Putting
pressure. Both teams almost their own worst enemies here. Arbin gets a handball back out. They're working it out of the back line now, the Wanderers. That kick, though, Lanyon done very well to take a mark running back. Had to really stretch for it. The Banks skipper, I think it's his 100th NTFL game today, so well done to him. Mm-hmm. And that's good work to find Tipping Woody in the forward line from the Bombers.
Yeah, Adam Tipping Woody, he's a beautiful footballer. Another one who played for NT Thunder, and he spent a bit of time down south playing footy. Yeah, he's a real developing leader of the Tiwi Bombers. So let's see if he can get this one on the board. It'd be morale boosting for them at this stage of the game.
Comes through, kicks it over the top of the umpire's head. Doesn't move at all, and the Bombers, well, they've pegged one back.
8-minute mark of the third quarter and a goal to Adam Tipping Woody. Tiwi Bombers 5-5-35, trailing Wanderers 12-7-79. The Wanderers with the first 3 goals of the third quarter, but Tiwi Bombers pegging one back through a lovely set shot from Adam Tipping Woody. Another one who would have played NT Thunder with Shannon Rioli and Daniel Wheater and the likes. So there's a number of players out there that played for Thunder and were teammates. Mitchell Taylor now in fullback for Wanderers. Stevie Motlop full forward for Wanderers.
No surprises there.
2 pretty handy bookends, both played in the NTFL rep side a few weeks ago.
And Taylor almost seen as the premier lockdown defender in the competition.
Oh yeah, he's been great for the past decade. Bo O'Connell just picking that up one-handed and kicking it out to the far side. Good mark there by teammate Daniel Clee. He's been good today.
He goes forward to Fijo. A long way from home. White potentially offering something, goes back. He goes laterally to Thorne. Does Fijo. Big Eddie Simpson streaming through that forward line. Looks like he'll go shorter to Matthew Motlop. Motlop had to work after he dropped the mark. Wrapped up in a tackle.
Yeah, good defence there by the Tiwi Bombers. So stoppage in play. 9.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Ball up. Ed Simpson knocking it down, but no one able to take it cleanly. Tiwi Bombers now with a chain of handballs. Dion Munkara takes a bounce.
He can run.
And a big handball.
He'll get it back. And he's Scott Thompson long. He goes to him, and Munkara will get it back here. He kept running. Just couldn't take it cleanly. That would have been something special. Thompson, he's tried to make amends for it. It won't be. He now has it at the half-forward line for Wanderers. Goes inside 50. Motlop going back. Couldn't take the mark. And Lanyon there to mop it up. Goes to Cantilla. Short one out. He finds Shannon Rioli. Been a bit quiet today, Shannon Rioli. We know he uses his experience and knowledge more so than anything, but still a handy footballer when he gets on. Now goes inboard to Giannini. Couldn't take the mark. Just out-muscled. And play really coming alive here. It's not quite getting fiery yet, but there's just a lot of physicality. Rioli on Tottenham. Now with JJ Motlop, he just gets on the boot, a high one, Giannini.
Courage by Giannini there to go back with the flood of the ball. Braden Motlop should be a Braden Rioli free kick, but Giannini takes it away again for the Tiwi Bombers.
Kick goes to Burke. Taylor did well just to keep it in front. Jiren Dobson involved as well. Now comes out to Tottenham. Tottenham shinned it. Still went a fair way though, but it's marked.
Brendan Cantilla again.
Out to Austral. Those two have been very good in the back line today.
Outstanding today.
And without them, you'd hate to think what the margin could be.
Tight on the boundary line now.
Goes to Burke. Can't take the mark, and so Weitra almost crawling. Gets a handball out, fisted forward. Bates now works it through.
Unintentional there by Paddy Heenan. The Wanderers player just went to ground and Paddy went over the top. Both teams know that. Cantilla again.
No malice in that one at all. Here comes Simpson now from the boundary. Goes towards goal, does he? No, goes to the hot spot. Motlop there,
Motlop.
just muscles his way through. Too easy against Roy Farmer. Marking the goal square. Motlop has kicked 5 today already.
He has, and Brendan Cantilla still getting up off the ground after chasing Big Ed Simpson. His endeavour has been outstanding today, Cantilla, but it is Motlop again. He's going to go with that unconventional set shot style.
A little snap on the side.
It's working for him.
Easy as you like.
Number 6.
He's kicked 2 in every quarter so far today.
Stevie Motlop, the former Geelong and Port Adelaide player. So 6 goals for his team, the Wanderers, today, coached by cousin Aaron. He's looking for some water. It is hot out there. And the water rehydration specialist will run that out to him. So the score now, Wanderers 13-7, 85, leading the Tiwi Bombers 5-5, 35. So we've got 50 points margin again, Will.
The Bombers were just building there. Fantastic play. I think it was Munkara and Thompson on this near side wing. Thompson's handball back inboard just couldn't quite stick to Munkara. If they had, though, they would have been on for something special. Bennell, he's been moved into the middle to try and start something. Kick very well out to Tipalura, but just couldn't take the mark. Bennell will have another crack. No, goes through his hands.
Tiwi appealing for a free kick there, probably more so the crowd than the
And it's very vocal
players
down here in front of us all of a sudden, isn't it?
But it's Wanderers who will get the free kick. Shane Thorne getting up, Harley Bennell pulling him up, and he's going to get that easy kick across to Arbon.
Now goes to Bates. Bates gets around a couple. Now goes to 50. From 55 loads up to Big Simpson in the goal square.
Cantilla.
Manhandled by 2. An undersized Cantilla working through. He now gets a handball away. Adams gets it back. White now rolls round onto his preferred side. Snaps to the hot spot again. Simpson and Motlop just
the decoy.
Second man up.
He
Slots
was.
in underneath.
Everyone was eyes on Simpson, thinking he was going to outmuscle his player, and Stevie Motlop just snuck in. Now he's on the other side of the body. to snap this. He's going to do it anyway, I
I would
think.
have thought he'd just go for a drop punt, a bit safer, but if he goes for a snap, it might work for him anyway.
Stevie Motlop in the number 1. Guernsey for the Wanderers has kicked 6 already today. Number 7.
Works. Drop punt straight through.
So he's mucked up your theory there with 2 goals in every quarter. He's kicked 3 this quarter, Will.
Just
Pretty
jinxed
impressive.
at the wrong time, didn't I?
Commentator's curse. So an easy mark in the end to Stevie after Big Ed Simpson did all the muscle work. Great leadership there shown by Stevie, just encouraging the younger players, having a chat to Bo O'Connell and Dre Thompson, not just concentrating on his own game, but sharing his knowledge.
So this haul of goals will put Motlop into 4th currently on the goal-kicking table.
Who's leading that?
Jaden Magro's on 45. Calder's behind on 30 in 2nd place, though he's got a few... I think he's got a few favourable games for him coming up, so you wouldn't quite write him off yet, but you'd think Magro's probably in the lead there, followed by Sam Dunstan and Darcy Hope, and then Luke Smith.
Wanderers trying to get it out here. Simon Bates chucks it onto the left, but it's smothered off the boot. A mark paid, but it should have been play on. Shane Thorne just putting it on the boot, but it's going to go across the face of goal for another behind.
And if, I'm not saying it's likely, but if Motlop can kick another 3 and get 10 up for the day, he'll be in equal second with Calder.
Wow. Yeah, Jackson Calder, he's capable of kicking big bags, but he sort of has become a target for defenders now that teams often double teaming him. Tiwi with the kick in. Comes off the pack, trying to get the ball out there. Matty Motlop's going to throw it on the boot and look for a teammate in the centre.
A weird floater, but it'll work.
Effective.
Now goes back off his mark. Arbin goes into the pocket. In fact, goes to full forward where Motlop is.
I reckon Stevie wants 10 now. Kick 7 for the day. Why not go for the double figures? Another kick in for Tiwi.
Plenty of time for him still. That kick comes in now to Braden Rioli. He'll go wide to Hooker. Hooker has got Big Tom holding down on the wing. Instead, he got into a bit of trouble and had to go to Cantilla. Back to Rioli. Gee, they're not helping themselves out. Dre Thompson with a big, strong tackle. Gives away a free. Got him high, I think.
There's not much of him, Braden. As I said earlier, the younger brother of Tigers superstar Daniel Rioli. Former St Mary's junior. Giannini now getting the hands off through the middle.
Darley goes out that far side, I think, to the run of Dunn. He loves a run, doesn't he? He goes inside 50 now, holding the target. Probably caught out of position, and a good mark in that back line from Jiren Dobson. He's got plenty of numbers on that right forward pocket, and he goes there. Weitra takes it. He's got Tottenham, he's got Dos Santos further down the line, but he doesn't even look there. Switches a play. Now goes out to Brody Newman, and they'll go down that far side. Handball goes over the top. Big Simpson's in space if they can get it to him. O'Connell put under a bit of pressure. Been missing the last quarter or so. Good kick, though, to Simpson. Simpson now goes forward. Mark couldn't be taken by White. Bates getting into help. Free kick will be paid against the Bombers. Advantage paid. Almost tripped over as advantage was paid. Giannini walks into Munkara. Lanyon, he has to get a kick out sideways to Fairley. Fairley will play on and go.
Yeah, lucky they're the Tiwi Bombers. Like you said, it almost wasn't an advantage. And that man, Cantilla, again, instrumental. So Tiwi Bombers have got it now in front of the grandstand, looking inside 50. Mitch Taylor just cutting it off, though. Umpire calls play on.
So getting some pressure on Rioli, but the Wanderers will get through. I think Newman there gets it to Nicky.
Oh.
Nicky's got Motlop. And coming in's Braden Rioli. Good pressure from Rioli. Now it's Bennell. Bennell goes to Farmer, who's just come off the interchange. Farmer will play on. Kick on goal. It'll float back through and bounce. What a goal from Roy Farmer. Straight off the interchange bench. Great
vision there too by Harley Bennell to see that player coming off the interchange bench. Roy Farmer, he's been around for a long time, and he'll be happy he's kicked a goal, and now they've sent him down to full back.
And fantastic work from Braden Rioli as well. Steve Motlop definitely in pole position there, and we've mentioned a few times there's not much of Braden, but he's just come in there fearless as ever and spoiled that and effectively set up that goal.
He just had a 1 second rest on the interchange that came back on. He's a gorgeous young fella. Love running into him at the footy every week. He's always got a big smile on his face, Braden, and loves his Tiwi Bombers. So well done, the Tiwi Bombers, 6-5-42. Trailing Wanderers 14-8, 92, but still some exciting footy being played out there, Will.
So Bombers still just keeping in touch. It is a 52-point margin, but it doesn't feel that way, such as the flow of the game. Here comes Stan Tipalura now. Inside 50 to John Tipalura. Two heroes from the Tiwi Islands Grand Final win with the Mottawari Magpies. Free kick given to Tiwi, to John Tipalura. So potentially another one here for them coming up.
20-minute mark fast approaching in the third quarter. Tiwi going to have another shot on goal after kicking the last one through Roy Farmer.
Needs to kick this one. You know they've got the kicking end in that final quarter. It's very close to the man on the mark.
That's a great kick off the boot.
Oh, has it been touched?
I think it's a goal. I think Brodie Newman came from behind the goals. Out.
Just conferring. Seems like they're sort of perhaps motioning towards that it was a goal. Yep. So Tipalura kicks his second.
John,
yes.
Tipalura.
And Stan has got one for the day as well.
Well done. The Tiwi Bombers have kicked the last 2 goals again, just trying to peg that margin back. It blew out in the first quarter, and they've been playing catch-up footy all game.
3 goals to 5 this quarter. Wanderers way. Steve Mutlop has kicked 3 of those.
And yeah, Wanderers kicked the first 3 goals of the quarter, but Tiwi Bombers still working hard to claw it back. 7-5-48. Tiwi Bombers trailing Wanderers 9-93.
So in the middle, Tipul Muntamiri gets a hit out. But Wanderers make the most of it at ground level. Darley at the fall of it. He takes a mark. No, he doesn't. Drops it. Puts himself under pressure. JJ Motlop tackles. Lanyon kicks it inboard to Stan Tipalura. The Bombers are building here.
Good running there by Tipalura. Spots up Braden Rioli in the centre.
Told to move it on. Just places a kick for John Tipalura. Almost run down, but umpires let it go. Lanyon will come in. Had to be hard on the ball. His handball out to Stan Tipalura wasn't effective, and O'Connell finds himself in space with the ball. He now goes to the lead there. I think that's of Dre Thompson. Good spoiling there, and here comes Roy Farmer. Kicked a goal just a few moments ago. Good one down the line there.
Tipperwoody maybe being held on to there. 3 Wanderers players now around the 2 Tiwi Bombers able to scoop that ball up. I think it's Daniel Wheater get that kick towards Shane Thorne in the middle.
Wanderers, you'd think it just settle it here. 22 and a half gone in the third quarter. Newman, he kicks it out wide. But there's a man on. I think it's Arbin. It is Arbin. He's could probably have moved in a bit closer, but instead he centres it to O'Connell. Good mark from O'Connell. Heenan coming in from the back, just not in the right position for it, and a very well weighted kick again. Yeah,
he had a number of options there. He could have gone to Ed Simpson, but Bo O'Connell was the running player, so he just put it out the front of his hands. Bo, obviously a Cheney medalist. He's going to kick it short now to Stevie Motlop. Stevie looking for number 8.
Stevie watches on.
It sure is. But Bo O'Connell, very unselfish there because he could have had that shot on goal. So the crowd's fallen silent here, Will. Waiting for Stevie to, he's kicked 3 this quarter.
Almost in anticipation of what's to come. He's a bit far out for the snap, so he'll have to do a drop punt. He's also not on the best angle for the snap, as we saw with his last goal. Walks in now. Steve Motlop, what can he do? Puts it straight through the big sticks, and that's goal number 8.
And I reckon, since I called him out early in the game for kicking a few behinds, I don't think he's kicked one since.
No, he's definitely, I don't know if he's changed his boots at half-time. Doesn't look like he has, but he's been kicking very well since about the second quarter.
Yeah, I reckon he's kicked 8 goals too. So Stevie Motlop with his 8th goal of the day. And he's, as Will pointed out earlier, fast moving up the leading goal kickers ladder. Wanderers 99 now, leading the Tiwi Bombers 47.
Puts him in equal third position on that goal-kicking ladder with Sam Dunstan, who plays tonight.
Live stats here, ladies and gentlemen.
And Darcy Hope as well is now behind him with the weekend off with Waratah having the bye.
24.5-minute mark of the third quarter here at Gardens Oval.
Holding in the ruck, gets it down. Lanyon picks it up, gets it out to Rioli, but the handball didn't hit him. So Lanyon had to go and fix up his mess. Thorne, he'll pick it up though, roll onto his trusty left and snap it forward. Bounces through them all. Fijo just paddles it forward. Now
He's
kicks
got
it to his
Stevie.
own advantage.
Oh, just raced away from everyone.
I was keeping an eye on Stevie Motlop
I
as
was
well
watching
there.
him
He
too.
was keen to get on the end of that one, wasn't he?
He was just killing on to tap that inboard to him, but it didn't quite work. Tiwi Bombers now with the clearing kick.
Great
Straight,
kick inboard.
yeah, into the square.
Now with Dunn. And 2 Wanderers players collide. They get up pretty quick though. Now comes back to them. They've got numbers in the middle. One of them's Thorne. He'll take it easy. Now they go out to the back flank. Where's Brody Newman is, Mr. Reliable in the back line. Works it down. I think that's now with Dobson. He goes to half forward. JJ Motlop all by
alone.
himself. And he's got Dre.
Stevie wants it over the top.
He does.
He's got
Goes to
time for another
O'Connell.
one.
O'Connell goes back. Don't know when the siren will be either. So if they want to get it and move it on, they need to be quick. Stevie Motlop gets himself on a lead. And he kicks it beautifully to him.
And a lovely kick, as you said, by Bo O'Connell into Stevie Motlop. Lining up now for number 9. Going to take his time too. He knows the siren won't be too far away as we tick over 26 minutes here at Gardens Oval. Stevie Motlop's show is in full swing.
So he's already kicked 4 this quarter, 8 for the game. Stevie Motlop.
Yep, Ed Simpson puts the finger up to indicate that that went straight through, and that is a 9th goal for Stevie Motlop, the former AFL star, Geelong and Port Adelaide player.
9 goals in 3 quarters of footy, not bad at all, is.
Very impressive, and as a Geelong supporter, I'm a fan. As I said, he played 217 games in AFL. 135 of those were for Geelong, 82 for Port Adelaide, where he finished his career, and he kicked 229 goals. He was All-Australian in 2013 and played a couple of games, so very accomplished AFL career, and after retiring in August last year, made the move back home to Darwin and playing some good footy for his family club, the Wanderers.
Holding again, getting on top in the ruck here. Wanderers have it all at ground level. Is there time for one more? Free kick will be paid, going the way of Simpson.
Simpson himself has kicked 2 goals. I think much of the focus has been on Wanderers giving them to Stevie, though, since probably halfway through the second quarter. Stevie's gone to give himself a rest out on the wing, though.
And he's found himself in the shade as well, down there, just in the one blemish of shade in the light tower.
It's a tiny bit of shade as the water boy comes to give him some rehydration.
Simpson comes in. Another sort of high loopy kick, but that one will work, goes through. And yet another goal for the Wanderers. They have piled them on this quarter. They're 8th for the quarter. And they move out to a 65-point lead.
Yeah, Eddie Simpson, the ruckman, he's a huge unit. He comes from the Waffle, where he had a pretty distinguished career and has played the last few seasons for the Wanderers. So that score now really busting out. 112 Wanderers leading the Tiwi Bombers 47 here at Gardens Oval. It's the 28.5-minute mark, which indicates how many goals have been kicked this quarter, and the majority of them by Stevie Motlop, who's sitting on 9.
11 goals this quarter. think 3 to the Bombers and 8, as we said, to Wanderers, and 5 of which have come to just that one man, Stevie Motlop. Here comes Thorne. Motlop again calling for it in the pocket. He'll go just shy of him to JJ Motlop. Almost at it there to Stevie lurking out the back. Matthew Motlop is there, so 3 involved in that play, but the siren will beat them all. And that's our 3-quarter time siren. So Wanderers well in control of this one. They lead by 65 points, 17-10, 112 to the Tiwi Bombers, 7-5, 47. We'll be back after this 3-quarter time break.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Oh, picked up by Makar, wasn't it? Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute ripsorter. From the pocket and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval for the final quarter of this round 16 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers. It is Wanderers 17-10, 112, leading the Tiwi Bombers 7-5, 47. So a 10-goal margin going into the last quarter. It is a big margin, but there have been some exciting moments in the game, and the Tiwi Bombers haven't stopped trying well.
No, absolutely not. Wanderers is still holding on to the very slim possibility of playing finals in season 22-23, and this percentage boosting scoreline will help that, but it's still a bit of a long shot. Tiwi, meanwhile, it's really, again, just been a tough year for them, but today at least more so than some of the other games I've seen them play. They've played with a bit of fun, a bit of flair, a bit of character, which is what you really like to see when you do come and watch the boys in red and black play here in the top end. Yeah,
there's a big crowd in here today, and they've certainly gotten right into the game as we see Ed Simpson win that ruck tap and get it out to teammate Thomas Boys and get it straight back.
Now with Arbin, he didn't take it cleanly and just paddled it. It's a bit of a weird centre square with that sort of dry mud patch up there. It's not wet and wild, but it's not easy either. Kick inside 50. Just falls into, I think it's Cantilla's hands again there. Yeah. He goes across to Lockie Fairley. He had to kick a high loopy one out there. It's marked by Cabillo, but there'll be a free kick.
And of course, Wanderers will be looking for Stevie Motlop, who's sitting on 9 goals. Can he kick his 10th?
Eddie Morris, he might go himself. What a big kick that is. Just the wrong side of the post, but that would have brought the house down as well, I reckon, Liz. Yeah, it would have. So Stevie Motlop, as I said, the target for Wanderers, sitting on 9 goals. Been impressive today. 2 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 5 in the third. Goes out wide now to Lanyon, who's been okay today. Again, I think it's his 50th NTFL game. Obviously, a majority of them coming with Banks Footy Club, and probably about 3 or 4 with the Bombers. So well done to John Bon, as he's affectionately known down there at the Bulldogs Footy Club.
Jovi?
John Bon Jovi, yep. Now works inside 50 again for the Wanderers. JJ Motlop picks it up, gets it back to Dre Thompson. O'Connell.
Funny little kick by Thompson there, just looking for O'Connell. And it'll be a ball in on the far side, up the Wanderers goal kicking end.
So Simpson is probably been the more dominant ruck on field today. Would have liked to have seen a bit more of Tom Holding competing against him. He's probably the biggest player out there for the Bombers, but he's spent a fair bit of time up forward. Thorne kicks it towards goal, but that one's well wide and even out on the full. Bombers bring it back in. Darley takes a mark. That ball's probably gone its quota of 15. Now goes out wide to Hooker. Hooker will play on, turn and go. Big kick down the line you'd think is coming here. And that's just slipped out the back very well to Tipalura. Then into Heenan. Heenan went to find Jason Burke. And Burke, who's offered a little bit today, hasn't really been given many opportunities, but he took one there. Now goes into Bennell in the pocket. Bennell collected it. Gee, if that had kept in, it would have gone through for a ripper, but the umpires said it's just gone over the boundary line.
We've seen that twice today. Neither of them have been allowed. And, that kick is not quite coming off the boot right for the Tiwi Bombers. It didn't leave Harley Bennell much to work with. So players from both sides have just flooded back into the Tiwi attack now.
So Dos Santos, he just throws it onto the ball. And again, O'Connell, almost as Newman does down in the back line, O'Connell does a kick ahead of play, just waits for it and finds himself in space. Now it's coming out and it's Wheatra. He's got Cabillo forward, or he's got Taylor laterally a long way from back line. He just throws on the boot, a floater to Motlop, and pushes Austral into the better position.
Is that my man, Brendan Cantilla? He's been outstanding today in defence.
In fact, I think it is.
No, it's Austral. Yep. He's been good too. Tiwi with runners now, but Tipler is going to go back. He's got a powerful kick.
Good mark again there on the lead from Burke. Probably too far out again, just by the way he's judged it today. Oh, he might go back and line up for it. I think he will. So Jason Burke, just his second game for the club. Kicked a handy goal last week for them. Keeps it low. That's a great kick on goal from Jason Burke. Well done to the young fella. And he kicks his first, and that's the first to the final quarter, is it, Liz?
I think so. The score now, Wanderers 17-11, 113 to the Tiwi Bombers 8-5-53. You're right, 4.5 minute mark of this final quarter, and that's the first goal that has been scored. So we're just about to tick over 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's the nearly 5 minute mark of this final quarter. So it's still pretty hot out there today.
Definitely the hot and sweaty times like these teams have drawn.
I'm sweating, and I'm just sitting here in the grandstand. But yeah, it's been a good spectacle for the crowd today, and always great to watch the footy from here at Gardens Oval, opposite Mindle Beach.
Not a bad midfield lineup here for the Bombers. What can they do with it? Comes back to Tipalura, and now to Tipua Muntamiri, and Heenan will get it on the wing. Bursting away from the pack, he takes one bounce, straightens up, goes into Tipping Woody, but he just slipped over, and so Totham, he'll take it out of there. Not a good kick. Made Thompson work, but he gets it off to Newman. That's not a good handball either. Putting pressure on his Dunn. Newman on his left. Looked a bit awkward, but looped it over the top. Handball worked forward, now to Thompson again. Motlop calling for it a long way from home. Fijo will go short to him, and he's just found some space on the lead.
So Stevie Motlop takes the mark and will line up for his 10th goal today, and I'm pretty sure he's kicked 8 straight. I reckon he kicked a couple of points early. So by my stats, on the far side of Gardens Oval, probably kick it from only about 35 metres out, I reckon, Will, on an angle.
Tightish angle though. Quite close to the boundary line. There's no 50-metre paint here. There's just the arcs. But you'd say he's well outside where the 50 would traditionally be. Kick comes in though. Umpire barely moves. She just moves back, and that's number 10 for Stevie.
10 goals to Stevie Motlop. So the youngest of the 4 Motlop siblings, the former Geelong and Port Adelaide player. 10 goals for Wanderers today. The score now, Wanderers 18-11, 119 to the Tiwi Bombers 8-5-53.
And you take away his teammates, and Stevie's still beating the Bombers by about 10 points. Well, not quite that much, but 8 or 9 points, you'd say.
Been great delivery though. Motlop will probably tell all the news reporters after the game when they want to interview him.
Yep.
By the Wanderers midfield.
And it has. A lot of them have looked for him today, particularly since half time. I think they've thought this could be a good day for Stevie to get some chalk on the board. Here comes Munkara, very silky. In and finds Shannon Rioli. Back to Munkara. Munkara on the run. Great kick on goal. And he's got it through. So, quick reply from the Bombers.
Yeah, Dion Munkara with his second goal of the day. Well done to the Tiwi Bombers to peg one back quickly.
So in the middle, Munkara will start there again. Took it very cleanly out last time. Can they do a repeat effort? Reading it well was O'Connell, and he picks it up, turns around, goes forward. Quick handball back inboard to O'Connell. He had to be quick, just threw on the boot. We'll just spin out there. Thompson will take the mark. Goes forward to O'Connell again. O'Connell about 4 touches in 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's a prolific ball getter, and as I said, a Cheney medalist in the league at a young age. He's got a big career ahead of him, and he's looking really fit. Runs all day. He's going to have a shot on goal here.
Nichols medal.
Nichols medal, sorry, not Cheney medal. Getting confused. And it won't be far till the Cheney medal,
No,
though,
you
just a few weeks away.
probably set up 3 or 4 of Motlop's goals, you'd say. Unfortunately, he can't get one for himself there.
So Bo O'Connell with a point. The score, Wanderers 18-12, 120, leading the Tiwi Bombers 9-5-59, and Tiwi Bombers will bring that in on the scoreboard side.
So holding, ball just goes beyond him. Wanderers now work it back through Cabillo and Wheatra. He goes inboard to Newman.
Speaking of Nichols medal, Will, who do you think will be up there this year?
Oh, the last few weeks I've thought, or pretty much all season, I thought it would be Stokes, Lant and Mensch. I think Collis has now probably replaced Mensch, given Mensch hasn't played since Christmas. But Collis definitely in discussions, and I'd almost say he's my favourite at this point, Dylan Collis. Lant probably will be leading the table when it comes to the Christmas break, but since Christmas I think Collis has been the best player in the league. Now with Lanyon, he picks it up, gets a handball back to Rioli. Now to Giannini, back to Rioli. Had to be smooth there, and he was.
Shahan Rioli just breaking the tackle, his strength there. Brody Newman going to chop that off with a juggling mark. Not paid. The umpire says play on. I thought Brody had enough of that then to be paid the mark. So a ball up right in front of the grandstand here at Gardens Oval.
Adams gets it down to Thorne. Thorne, look away handball if you don't mind, to Wheatra. Wheatra in the middle of the ground goes to O'Connell again. O'Connell tried to get past Dunn, but he dropped the ball. Picked up by Wheatra, now forward to Fijo, back to Wheatra. Another player with about 3 touches in 30 seconds. Not a good entry though, and Darley, he'll take it out of there, put the burners on. Goes to Giannini and hot, and got it back to Darley. Very good play from them. He kicks it inside 50 now. Tipping Woody. Just a bit shy of the contest. Any other contenders for the Nichols, Liz, for you?
I've watched a lot of Pints games, and there's been some really good players across their team, and that's the problem when you've got a number of good players in a team, that they steal votes off each other. Dylan Lant, he's always really high up there in the stats, but and umpires traditionally, look at the midfielders. So, it's pretty open this season.
Bounce there. I think that's Wheatra. Good mark from Simpson on the line.
Plucked that one out, but the umpire's paid
behind,
point.
is he?
Yep.
So just one behind there. Simpson, I think, is trying to claim the mark.
I've probably watched more women's games this season, and I think the Gwyn medal will be really interesting as well. Pints just losing that one game to St Mary's, and a very even top 5 going into the finals.
And the reigning Gwyn medalist Molly Althouse has been pretty good this year, but I don't think she's been as standout in that Buffs team as she was last year.
Buffs haven't dominated like they did sort of last season either, so St Mary's have probably had those 3 really bad losses at the start of the season and then dominated. Emma McNeil in the ruck has been outstanding. I'm not sure how she missed out on a spot in the rep side. Caitlin Armstrong, leading goal kicker for St Mary's, also missed out on the rep side, but just a number of players. But then, they've brought in the likes of Danielle Ponter in recent weeks, who will probably take votes late in the season. That should be a free kick to the Tiwi Bombers, but not paid by the umpire. Brody Newman picking it up and getting slung off the ball by Harley Bennell, and a Wanderers player diving on him. Good sportsmanship to pick him up. Braden Rioli thought it was going to go across the line there, right on the wing, and Wanderers push forward again.
Now with Boys got it back from White, but it wasn't a clean handball. Seen a few of them today. White had to go and fix it up himself. He goes inside 50. Bates.
Should be a free kick.
Good work there from Dunn just to get a hand there, but I think the umpire scored a free kick. Exactly right, Liz.
That's the problem. Stevie Motlop.
Will it curve back? Just the wrong side of the post, so he's first behind in about 10 goals.
I reckon. Yeah, going back to the Gwyn medal, though, Pints, again, just Steph Lawrence has been outstanding for Pints all season, and she was in the rep squad. Gemma Kono's been outstanding for St Mary's, but she's a defender, so they don't often pick up votes. Waratahs have a number of players. Tiwi Bombers have got a number of players. It's anyone's, I think. Stevie Motlop's going to have another shot on goal.
Check side. That's through, so that's number 11 for Stevie Motlop.
Well, one more and he's got the dozen. Stevie Motlop. We're 14 minutes into this final quarter, so there's plenty of time, Will.
And he's now in second place on the Dennis Dunn Trophy tally.
So what's Magro on?
Magro's on 45, Motlop now on 31, and Calder on 30.
Wow. I'll have to message Jackson Calder and
Tell him to kick a bag tonight.
tell him to kick a bag tonight with my St. Mary's hat on. But, yeah. No, I always love Nichols Medal and Gwyn Medal. It's a really good night, and the clubs come together, and players across the grades are awarded, and volunteers and the likes. And, you know, it's such a tradition now to have Charlie King up there emceeing. I'm not sure if he will this year, and obviously last year's was COVID affected. So it'd be nice to get back in person and go through Nichols Medal night.
Back in the middle, Holding gets it down to Giannini and out to Darley. Again, just puts the burners on. He's probably one of his biggest assets, and he gets it back from Heenan, but handball not great. Darley ran into trouble in Taylor.
Mitchell
Ping
Taylor.
for holding the ball.
Mitchell Taylor's one for Wanderers. I rate him. I think he should have been an AFL player, but, you know, a defender again. Not sure how many votes he'll get as that ball goes in again to Motlop.
Just decked by Farmer, so Bates will run in, and I think it's his first game this season. Bates kicks a goal to extend the margin out now. Gee, that's some big numbers. I'm not great at maths, Liz.
2014, 134 Wanderers leading the Tiwi Bombers 9-5-59. So really blown that margin open out in the last quarter and helped by 11 goals to Stevie Motlop today.
75 points, I think we have it at.
I was never good at maths either, so I was avoiding the question there. English and science for me. Funny now as a parent of a high school child, telling them to work hard in maths. I was this week, but Stevie Motlop's coming off. I think he hurt himself in that last contest. His arms kind of
a bit limp,
and he was hampered by shoulder injuries all of his AFL career. So he did sort of indicate then that he's sore, and he has got the shoulder strap. So that's a bit sad. He's had a fantastic game today. 11 goals to Stevie Motlop.
Munkara out of the middle. He kicks it forward to Burke. Goes through his legs. Gets a handball forward to Rioli, but Thompson quick as a flash. Intercepts and now boot to ball. Kicks into space. O'Connell again just knows where the ball's going to be, and he gets there. Had an option forward to Matthew Motlop. Instead, he goes a bit further to Tyson White. Simpson's lurking a long way away. Can they get it to him? He goes for a lead now, and they hit him on the chest. Perfect kick. Simpson with 3 today.
Played second fiddle to Stevie.
Still a pretty impressive game, though.
Yep. He's just a huge unit. He's so hard to man up on, and as you said, Tiwi aren't a big team. So he'll kick from about 45 metres.
Again, it's another high floater, and that one's floated across the face, just to behind.
17.5 minutes in this final quarter. Wanderers 20-15, 135, leading the Tiwi Bombers 9-5-59. Kick in by the Tiwi Bombers. Straight to the Wanderers.
Matthew Motlop, he kicked the first of the day. That one just to behind.
So they're going to switch the kick-in player there, the Tiwi Bombers.
This will be Darley.
I think it was Cantilla with the last one. It's probably his first blemish for the day. I think he's been outstanding in defence. Jaden Adams cutting that off, giving it to JJ Motlop for the Wanderers. JJ's chucked it on the boot, and he's going to kick a goal. JJ Motlop with a goal for the Wanderers. After his cousin Stephen has kicked 11 today.
So 4 goals in this final term to the Wanderers, just the 2 to the Bombers.
So 19-minute mark of this final quarter. The third quarter went for about 30 minutes, Will, because of all the goals that were scored. This one probably won't go as long.
No, and again, another unfortunate loss for the Bombers, a big one. But next week they've got Palmerston, and I think that they're almost a bigger chance for that one than they are today against the Wanderers.
Yep.
Palmerston really dropped off the pace.
Yep. So Palmerston take off St Mary's tonight, and St Mary's had a loss they probably shouldn't have last week by 2 points to Nightcliff. So St Mary's will look to redeem themselves against Palmy tonight. Mitchell Taylor just taking that one out of the centre and delivering it.
Beautiful kick.
What a kick. I think it's Keelan Fijo over there.
And if St Mary's do knock off Palmerston tonight, which as we expect they should do, Taylor almost trying to get a handball off then to get it back, it'll mean that the Wanderers have moved into 7th place. So not the worst result for them at all. And final's still alive, as we mentioned. It's a big percentage boosting win. Fijo's kick high. Won't make the distance, though it'll bounce. Bounces backwards.
Bounce back in. I think Ed Simpson again doing the right teammate thing there, trying to push the player out so it went through. So who's your tip for grand final spots, Will?
I was just talking about that at halftime with Nathaniel Chambers from the NT News. I think any three of Districts, Waratah and St Mary's, I'd say Districts and Waratah are the two, but I can also see St Mary's knocking either of them out. And I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I couldn't tell you between those three who the two are going to be. Munkara now, dancing and dazzling around. Finds Dunn. Dunn will turn and go. Burke in plenty of space. Instead will go to Bennell, and Burke will keep running. Bennell now goes to him. Inside 50. You'd think he'd have a shot. He does. Very good kick. And Burke, he kicks his second of the quarter.
Yeah, really well done there by Burke. He didn't blaze away, just took his time and made sure that one went through to the Tiwi Bombers. So a second goal to Jason Burke. And the score now, Tiwi Bombers 65, trailing the Wanderers 142. So, but again, well done, bringing it out of the back line and through the middle for the Tiwi Bombers.
I think you look at, those top three teams.
Stevie Motlop's running back on.
Still back on the ground, so the dozen's still up for grabs for him.
Yep.
Looking at those three teams, I think Tars have been the best all year. St Mary's the informed side, and Districts at their best to beat either of them. So.
Yeah, I think Shannon Rusker's probably one of the most astute coaches. He's been hampered a bit by injury in his team, hamstrings, I think. He told me at work a few weeks ago. So he's a very clever coach, and he's been there before. But then at Waratah, his old right-hand man, is an excellent coach as well. Anthony Vallejo, premiership coach last year for St Mary's. So, yeah, Ryan Ayres will have his thinking cap on of what he can do to redeem Waratah's loss from last year. Be very interesting finals.
And I think realistically those three, I think Nightcliff could do some damage, but probably won't go the whole way. And similarly with the Buffs, and if they make it Pint.
So another throw in right in front of the grandstand. Nicky at the back getting the tap away. And again, that runner, he's done it all day. Thomas Boys for Wanderers. They're looking for Stevie Motlop, who's kicked 11. Simpson's got the ball. Can he get it to him?
He's calling for it. He'll kick it right to him. It's a high ball. Motlop just try to weight himself. He gets it on the ground as well. Oh, just tackled. Umpire calls play on. Almost lucky not to get away with it. Gee, that's a snap-on goal as well there. That's gone all the way through.
And that was Tyson White.
Great goal from White.
There's been a whistle.
No, I don't know if that goal will stand, actually.
Umpire is waving the flags. There's going to be a discussion. It was definitely a goal. It's whether or not there was a free kick paid earlier back in the field, I think.
Or perhaps the umpires from their angle didn't see which side of the post, but from us it was clear as daylight.
Yeah.
Through.
Touched.
Touched.
Wow.
There you go.
I'm going to have to take that one off for Tyson White. So it must have been touched off the boot. The kick in now by Tiwi hits the deck, but picked up there. Getting it to Braden Rioli, who's going to run down the wing.
He goes into space ahead of Giannini. Giannini had to be brave, and he was enough. He's ended up with the ball. Now back to Rioli. Rioli just cleverly works it through. Taylor picks it up, though, with possession. In tight space, gets it to Rioli again, who again just very hard at it. He looks like he's hurt himself there. Just cops a stray boot to the ribs, I think.
Yeah, he does. He goes in hard. Braden and his uncle Shannon will go over, make sure he's okay. He's holding his hip. There wouldn't be much meat on it to protect him like my hips. So ball in again. Wanderers again. Marcus Totham, the handball at the back, giving it to Daniel Weecher. He's going to switch the play across to Bo O'Connell. He's got runners on, but he's going to stop, or he takes his kick.
Dale Cunningham running back. He'll be first to it. Just taps it. He's got 3 opponents to beat. Now comes to Stevie Motlop. Will he go the check side on goal for number 12? He will. It's gone straight over the umpire's head. What a goal that was.
Stevie Motlop with 12 goals here at Gardens Oval today for the Wanderers Football Club. What a performance.
2 in the first, 2 in the second, 5 in the third and 3 in the fourth.
All the spotlight on his sister Lauren, who played her 150th game last weekend. And now all the spotlight on Stevie, who's kicked 12 goals today, and Rory Farmer just giving him a friendly little nudge there.
He didn't like the spotlight being taken off him for too long, did he? He needed to get it back somehow.
They're all very competitive, the Motlops. They're a great family, and it's fantastic that our AFL footballers come back and give back to NTFL and play. And we've seen Mitch Robertson this season, Stevie Motlop, Harley Bennell for the Tiwi Bombers. You know, there's been a number of them, and it just brings so much to our competition.
So, dying minutes of this one. Wanderers home and hosed and have kept their finals dreams alive, albeit slim. Hooker diving on the ball, hit by Boyce, and the stray ball will come out. O'Connell will run onto it, but just goes past it. Hooker very low. Tipalura gets out into space. Arbin, he picks it up, dances around a couple, pings. Umpire calls him for holding the ball. And he's just getting stuck into Hooker there. Not sure what's happened. Don't think they're too happy. Bit of fire in that one. Mark taken on the back line by Newman as he does. So Newman, he works it down to O'Connell. O'Connell has ended up with it. He goes down the line. Darley, he went to the ball. His opponent, Simpson, waited for it, and he goes long inboard to Heenan. Now to Lanyon, who's been quiet this last quarter, but pretty good today for them. Cunningham on that far wing. He'll approach it.
Oh, nearly by Thompson with the one-handed pickup. Bit of a scoop there by the Tiwi Bombers, and a smother by Keelan Fijo.
Giannini.
Trying to get that ball back down to Stevie Motlop.
Now goes over the top to Motlop again. Can he get a Baker's dozen, maybe 13? Takes a second bounce inside. Just a short one over the top. Now that he's got his 12, he does the team thing and passes off. Tyson White, the recipient here. And potentially after the siren, this one as we tick to 27.5 minutes. So in comes White. Hasn't kicked one today, has he? No. Had that last one taken off him as it was touched, but that one has gone through.
So he tried to kick one earlier and I took him off, but Tyson White with a goal, the youngster there. The score, Wanderers 23-17, 155. Tiwi Bombers 10-5, 65.
It's blown out to 90 points very, very late in this one. This quarter, Wanderers have kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals to 2 to the Bombers.
I was just talking to Jackson Calder, and he tells me he's on 37.
37. So
I think the ladder might be wrong. So
there you go.
Oh, the goal kicking ladder.
Potentially not all of the stats been uploaded yet to Play HQ, but another enticing contest for the Dennis Dunn Trophy this year. Free kick in the middle going to Jaden Adams. He goes out to Thorne. I think they got caught out by the 666 rule. Thorne by himself on the wing. Good kick, good mark.
So 29 minutes this quarter has gone for, just like the third quarter. Lots of goals kicked.
Matthew Motlop, he kicked the first goal of the game. Potentially the last here as well. It's a floater, goes across the face. Simpson marks in the goal square though.
Well, he's been great today, Ed Simpson.
Plays on and straight through. Umpire will bring him back.
Kick 3. He knows he's going to be on a tight angle here for this one. He's got Roy Farmer standing on the mark.
And it'll be after siren, so can't even run around. He's trying to work out what he's allowed to do.
What he can do. He can take a couple of steps. Big smile on his face, and Stephen Motlop standing there for support.
Gee, very high. That won't register for a score. In fact, it's gone backwards, but it won't really make a difference. 90 points the end in this one. Tiwi Bombers 10-5-65. Fallen well short of the Wanderers, 23-17, 155.
So a 90-point win to the Wanderers over the Tiwi Bombers, and it was Stevie Motlop with 12 goals for the Muck Mucks. Well supported there by Ed Simpson with 3, Matty Motlop with 2. Brody Newman was sensational down back with Mitchell Taylor, Bo O'Connell running through the middle, and Shane Thorne. Tiwi players in the best today, probably Brendan Cantilla for me in defence. Will, who else did you have?
Yeah, I thought Dion Mankara was pretty good in flashes as well. And Harley Bennell as well, sort of more in the forward line, was a bit of a focal point. And whenever he was alive, you felt like the Bombers were getting up and about. For Wanderers, I think you can't really go past Stevie Motlop. 12 goals is a pretty good effort. I also really like the work of Bo O'Connell and even Shane Thorne, another one of those players who just whenever he got the ball, the Wanderers seemed to be on.
Yeah, well done, Will. It's been great to call the footy from Gardens Oval here with you today. My name's Liz Cruz. Stay on the NT News to catch the end of the Men's Premier League match between Southern Districts and Pint, live from Norbuilt Oval this afternoon, and then more games live on AFL NTV and through the NT News tonight.